You started a diary.
Yeah.
And what are you going to do? Did you keep it up every day?
Yeah, just...
Oh, can I read it, please?
Well, a diary's meant to be sort of...
Please, can I read some out on this podcast? Karl.
Some of it, though, is only relevant to me. It's sort of...
Please, give me it. Oh, my God.
I mean, this isn't... I haven't just...
Look how big it is!
It's one of those desk diaries.
It's huge. It's about a foot long. And it's... Oh, that is amazing. Imagine if Anne Franks had been like that. As she got out... Right. Everyone would have heard it clank down on the desk.
Yeah, but my writing's quite big, isn't it?
Oh, look. Give us that.
Do you know about joined up writing? Have you heard about
is
that?
There's no point.
amazing.
Sometimes you can't read it, can you? So it's
Right,
best
okay.
to look at ancient times.
Oh, my God. It starts on the first day. This is wonderful. Going on holiday to Gran Canaria today. Woke up to the news that Tony Banks had died. There was a piece on the news about how everyone was shocked. Got me thinking about an invention that would be good. Right. A watch that counted down your life. If it says you've got 3 days left, go to the doctors. Told Suzanne about invention. She said she wouldn't buy one. But she said that about the iPod.
How would this device work, this watch? I mean, how would you know when you were about to die? Is that a concern? Again, not for you to worry about, presumably the boffins and
No, all I was thinking is that Tony Banks fella, you know, he died and everyone was shocked about it. But if you had like a little watch on...
But how does it work? You can't just say, wouldn't it be good? How would this work? Yeah, I imagine you in the patent office going, got an idea. They go, oh, certainly, Mr. Pilkington, what's your idea? Watch that counting down your life. Oh, how does that work? What?
Just wear it, just pop it on your wrist.
No, what do you mean, just pop it on your wrist? How does it work? Just pop it on your wrist. Brilliant. You're an idiot.
Well, it's interesting that he goes on. The flight to Gran Canaria was a bit bumpy. I thought about the clock that counts down your life again, and I wondered if it would know if you were going to die in a disaster. No, he's querying his own life.
He's wondering if it would know. He's invented this.
And now he's not even sure. A fella on the plane was reading Koi Mag. It was a fishing magazine. I glanced over and noticed he was reading the Pond of the Month article. Don't think they could make it into a weekly magazine. Well, to be fair to you, because I remember seeing a guy on the train once reading Carp Monthly, a magazine dedicated entirely to carp, and it had Carp of the Month. And I just thought, you know, once you're like 3 months in, the editor must be stressing, have we got any more carp? Have we got a carp that's actually done anything?
I reckon if they used the same one twice, there wouldn't be many complaints.
No one would be noticing.
No, that's the carp they used 2 years ago.
There was a really fat bloke on the plane. He was playing on his PSP. While I waited to go to the toilet, I looked at what game he was playing. It was darts. He's that fat and lazy, he can't even face playing a more active game on a games console. Me and Suzanne got off the coach along with a couple of old people. One of them was in a wheelchair. I don't think it was wise of them to come to a volcanic island with a wheelchair. Everywhere's pretty rough, paving and slopey. Guess I'll keep an eye on it as the weeks go on. Day 2 in Gran Canaria.
Brilliant, we're only at day 2.
The hotel's a bit odd. I've never seen as many cross-eyed people in one location.
That's enough, isn't it?
That's amazing!
Well, you may as well let me read on a bit more.
No, this is amazing.
We'll come back to
This
it
is a
later
brilliant diary. This might be the best diary ever written. Oh.
While sat listening to the Kinks on my iPod, I wondered if everybody thinks in their accent. I know I do. What's this? What are you talking about?
Just that, you know, when I've been sat there lying on the lounger, right, and I was thinking about stuff.
How do you know you think in your accent? Tell me a typical thought.
Because what I mean is, say if I was like, if I saw something, right, do you know how I say, like, oh, that's a bit weird, isn't it?
No, but
that was
I don't have
said.
to. But when you think, I don't think the sentence is like I'm saying it. It's just a thought. The thought appears. It's conceptual and it's already there. It's not like I go, Rick, what? Just looking at that fellow over there, were you? Yeah, I was. Yeah. I was thinking it looks a bit weird. Oh, so was I. I don't think out whole sentences.
Whereas you have Karl, stop listening to the Kinks for a minute. Look over there. More cross-eyed people.
No, well that's
Is that how your mind works?
In a way, yeah. And
Brilliant.
that's when because I thought
explains a lot.
It's great that he has to think about whole sentences.
Because I thought that's weird, isn't it? Like I didn't think that's weird, isn't it? And I thought I actually think in my accent. And then I thought, does Stephen Hawking, does he, when he's doing his maths and that, is he? I don't know where he's from, so I don't know what his accent would be like.
I think he's from Kent or Cambridge or Oxford or
Right.
something.
So
So you think he might think in his
voice, in that voice,
the
box
computerised
thing.
voice.
Just wondered.
Had lunch inside today due to shite weather. Sat next to an old fella. Old men's ears and noses carry on growing as they get older. Suzanne noticed his fingers were fat too. Maybe they continue to grow. Suzanne didn't laugh when I said her arse had the same problem. Day 3, cloudy start to the day. Had pie and chips in a cafe. Had a bit of an argument with Suzanne because I thought it was daft that we were paying for food when we were on an all-inclusive holiday. Changed my mind when I saw they sold pie though. The cafe was called Tattoos. The fellow who owned it didn't have any tattoos. But we never saw his wife.
Oh, brilliant.
Had a drink in a bar. Everyone sat and watched one of the local cats lick its bollocks. He treated. There was a really ugly one with bent legs.
I'm gonna die. Why does he write this down? Oh, God. Oh.
There is a fat bloke from Bolton who is in the pool as I write this. He's got a big tattoo on his back, but I can't work out what it is. ... He just got out of the pool and burped. Just felt like you had to keep us abreast of that.
Everything's in the diary. I just seen it get to the point where you're going, breathed in,
Yeah.
breathed out again.
There was a big fat fella in the sea who kept his t-shirt on. If you're big and fat, is there more chance of you getting burnt because there's more of you on show? I asked Suzanne and she said she didn't know in that sort of not listening kind of way. I wanted to hang about to see if the fat bloke was going to get in the kayak, but Suzanne said we had to head back. I just love him waiting to see if he's going to capsize. We go home today, so we got up early to get the last bit of cloud.
No, it's just that it wasn't. It's not that sunny all the time. I mean, I was sat in weather that if it was like that here, there's no way I'd be sat in the garden. But because you're on holiday, it's like, well, we've got to sit in it. Put your coat on.
So are you going to continue to write this diary? Every single day?
It's amazing. Keep this diary up. It's amazing.
No, I will keep it up, because what I find as well is, I think earlier on, before I went away, I think I did learn something. And because I wrote it down, I remembered it a bit better. So...
What was that?
I just was thinking then, I forgot it now, but I remembered looking back at it and not having to read it all because I remembered the end of it before I read it, if you know what I mean.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, if you've enjoyed the diary of Karl Pilkington, more next week, I hope. Another week's worth. That's amazing. I'm going to try and get that published. We'll put the odd page up on the web. Go to rickygervais.com. Don't forget to register there as well so we can email you and let you know what's happening. But anyway, that's XFM for you. 104.9, I'm Ricky Gervais with me, Steve Merchant. Karl Pilkington. Karl, you went to Lanzarote.
Yeah.
People said don't go to Lanzarote. They told you it was Lanzarote. They told you, were they right or wrong?
They were right, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's a bit ropey, yeah.
Is it? Why?
Just out there. If it wasn't for the volcano they had, they'd been knackered.
That's their big draw, is it?
That's it, basically. That's all they've got going for them.
When you landed, was it really hot? Were you quite excited? You were thinking this is okay?
It was warm. It's, we can't complain about the weather. The weather was all right.
Sure.
You know what I mean? That's what I went for. But it'd be nice if there just was something else.
Yeah.
What did you do all day then? Did you read your ritual book?
No, I didn't read that. I read that book. Do you know the book that I bought and all the chapters were messed up?
Oh, yeah.
I bought a better version of that.
All right.
And I read that.
Excellent.
And then...
Did it make more sense in order?
Yeah, a lot easier to follow.
Yeah.
And then we went and had a look at the volcanoes and that. They've got 36 of them to look at.
How many did you look at before you realised that pretty much, you've seen one volcano, you've seen them all?
Probably about 6 or 7.
Really?
Yeah.
And then when you got to the 8th, you thought, now I know what this is going to be, Suzanne. This is going to be like a mountain with a hole in the top.
Yeah.
Really?
But it happened years ago as well. It's like, just keep a couple, fill the rest in, tidy it up.
Fill the rest in!
Yeah, no,
Well, getting some builders.
No, seriously though.
Okay, 4 million tons of concrete, please.
They're an absolute death trap.
Yeah, what? Yeah. What do you mean fill them in? Do you know what a volcano is?
It's just a hole, isn't it? That's happened.
Well, it's more than a hole. It's more a portal to the magma in the centre of the earth.
Back in 1730 it happened. and they still haven't sorted it out.
Well, when you say it happened, volcanoes were made a lot longer ago than 1730.
No, but the one that did Lanzarote in.
Right.
Sort it out.
What would you suggest? How
tidy
can
it
they
up.
fill it in? It's joined. It's all joined.
No, but what I'm
and
saying is,
the big plates of the Earth are all joined.
it
All
was
the
a disaster,
magma's
wasn't it?
joined.
With the trade centre thing, that happened. They cleaned it up, sorted it out, they've moved on. That's what I'm saying. Whereas Lanzarote have just gone, leave it. It happened back in 1730.
You misunderstand me. How, in the name of God, can you fill in a volcano? You ignorant twit.
No, but it's not just the holes. They've actually left the lava everywhere. That's what I mean. It's not just the big holes. There's lava everywhere.
But it's molten rock. They can't just pick it up like they're like a carpet.
Put it in the holes. The holes are there ready. Just push it all in. That's what I'm saying.
What exactly is there then? Is it just a kind of moon-like kind of surround with just kind of dust and rock?
That's exactly what you see. I was there when the Mars thing went wrong.
Yeah.
I would have just sent a camera crew there, filmed a bit of that, right, and say, here we are. This is it. Ignore the little coffee shop in the background.
Yeah.
Right? This is Mars because that's where it's like just loads of dust,
Yeah.
holes everywhere. Tidy it up.
Little round-headed aliens complaining.
Yeah.
It's just like Mars.
Yeah.
So,
is there what's the best bit about the holiday? Come on, pretend you're Judith Chalmers.
I have been doing. I would have done all that. I would have said that. Don't bother.
Right.
I mean, the hotel was good.
Yeah?
That was all right.
What was that like?
It's all right. Just, clean. That's all you want, isn't it?
See, that's not quite what Judith Chalmers does. She doesn't go, what's the hotel like? All right, yeah, clean, isn't it? All right. But what was it like? What was it? 3-star, 4-star? Did it have a swimming pool? What was the room like?
I had a swimming pool and that.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's good. I think it was one of the better ones on the island.
Okay.
Nightlife? Clubs?
Wasn't really any. There was a bar, there was some bands playing.
Yeah.
Not very good. Food got a bit boring.
Yeah.
It was always the same food every night, but they sort of themed it and made out as if it was different. So, like, on Mexican night, it'd be chicken with a nacho on it.
Right.
And Chinese night, sort of chicken with a little prawn cracker on it and stuff.
Sure.
But that got a bit boring.
That's me just turning on my phone, because I want to read to you a text
Right.
that I got from Karl. I think you sort of sum up the holiday in this text, don't you? Do you remember
I
it?
can't remember.
Let's have a look. Let's have a little look. Let's go
Instantly,
through
what did Suzanne, your girlfriend, make of it?
Uh,
Similar view to you, that they should fill in the holes?
Yeah, it's just that thing. You see, I went on a coach trip, right? And you go and see the volcanoes. Like I say, there's 36 of them.
Yeah.
Which, how many do you need? And when we're on the coach going round all these volcanoes, the fella on the front's going and look out your left window at the moment, and there's a volcano. And if you quickly look out of the right-hand side there, there's another one.
Right.
And on the left, it's just like, all right, we've seen it.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that trip, I mean, we'll talk about that trip in a bit.
Right, this is the text I got from Karl, right? All right. Been up to a volcano. Been in some dead artist's house who built his house in the lava. They said they would show me science with volcanoes, but all they did was chuck some water in a hole and it shot up in the air. No dwarves in the canteen, no scousers here, but there is a Swede woman with a big head. She looks effing gormless with a cap on. Alright? So a little reference there to...
A Swede woman?
What's that mean? Do you mean Swedish?
Yeah.
Or she looked like a vegetable?
A Swedish woman. But they've all got sort of quite big built, aren't they?
And I sent him a text. Oh, well, it's just good to be on holiday because, I'm working. He sent back, so am I. Just been watching Sky News. There is a school for monkeys who want to get a band together.
Is that monkey news related?
Oh My Corazon by Tim Burgess. I can't get enough of that. I love that chorus. On XFM 104.9. Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant and little Carl Pilkington. But It was a nice holiday.
Yeah, it's all right. It's just, I went there to relax and that.
Exactly.
Did a little bit of that. Trying to think of some new, features and stuff.
Sure, always working. 3 holidays a year, Jesus.
Oh, not really 3, not 2.
It's all
holidays, really.
one big sort of like work thing to me and Steve.
2 holidays, isn't it?
Yeah.
Work hard, you need the holidays. So, yeah, the things that annoyed me was like, you get bored sat around the pool after a couple of days. I'd read my book.
Yeah.
There wasn't much going on the...
Not even any crabs to throw
You go on a sort of package thing. Mm-hmm. You have these trips, right? And you pay about 40-odd quid and they give you some wine to sort of make it feel like you're getting your money's worth. But,
how many of these trips have you been on then? Loads.
Probably about 12.
More holidays than I've had. Go on.
Yeah, so anyway, so you're on the coach, right? And they take you... For the volcanoes, they took us in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Right? There's nothing else round there.
Sure.
It's like I say, it's like Mars, but with holes in the ground.
Yeah.
Right? And they sort of drop you off, and they go, right, everybody, see you back here in an hour. There's loads of volcanoes for you to look at, and a coffee shop over there. And you know for a fact, right, you don't need an hour there. You could just say, well, just keep the engine running because I'll have a look in this hole, we'll get back on, give us 5 minutes. Right? Don't need an hour.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But you know that they've got something going.
It's a backhander, definitely.
What, with the coffee shop?
Definitely, yeah. They go there and they get everyone to have an ice cream and a coffee and they sit down, have a fag talking to the bloke. Yeah, and it's like, cousin. Yeah.
How much was the coffee? Was it
probably about €3 each euro, so I think it was $3.50.
Sure. Yeah.
Which is, I don't know, what, that's about £2.5.
Yeah, they stitched you up. Well, I remember we were on a family trip to France once. We went to Paris. We got a coach coming back from Paris to one of the ferries, one of the ports, Calais or wherever it was. Coach trip. That's quite a long coach trip. And at one point we were thinking, we're on the motorway, this is fine, we're making good progress. Suddenly we came off the motorway. We must have gone like 40 minutes out of our way, end up in this street, completely empty, little French town. And it's pulled up outside this, what appears to be a restaurant, and a guy jumps on, dressed like a Butlins redcoat. He's French, but he's putting on a kind of English accent. He goes, hello, oh, thank you very much, top of the morning, good morning, hello. Come in, we've got food, drink, go upstairs, we've got rooms if you want to have a rest, or play around. No, it's up to you. And we all had to funnel off this thing into this restaurant, and this one family went, well, we don't want to go in the restaurant. We brought sandwiches, we just want to get to the port, we're not interested. And they said, well, you've got to come in the restaurant. They went, we don't want to come in the restaurant. So the guy said, well, I'll have to lock you in the coach. So this family were locked in the coach while we all traipsed off in, and I could just look, but I looked back and just saw this little kid with his face pressed up against the glass. Take me with you. I want to go in the restaurant. They were just stuck in there. Absolutely livid, as you would be.
But that's definitely a backhander.
But we went inside, and it was extraordinary, because initially you had to pass through a souvenir shop to get into the restaurant.
Perfect.
And it was catered entirely to English tourists. So there was like pictures of the Queen and Prince Charles on the wall. It was done out in a kind of mock Tudor style. It's absolutely extraordinary. I mean, it was so bizarre, because it was so out of the way. Did that come before the coach, sort of scam? Or did the coach guy, he knows it, is it a brother of his? I don't know how those things come about. But
is that going on in this country? Yeah,
with French
I'm sure
and German
it is.
tourists.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Is it?
Yeah, they say, I'm sure people say, look, if you bring 30 people to this restaurant, I'll see you all right. But it wouldn't it? If you got your favourites, because you don't have to. The coach driver's pretty much God on those things, because those people don't know where they're going anyway.
Yeah, but at least here, there's other stuff around. You don't really get that in the middle of nowhere situation in this country.
Well, not really. Not if you're going from London to Manchester. You could stop off anywhere. They don't know where they are. There's places with nothing to do or see. It's that those attractions. There's loads of in America, but there's a few here, like Sheep World. And, you go out to Gloucester, and there's a town, it's got the biggest cotton reel in the world. And that's it. It's a tourist shop, a big cotton reel, and some bloke at the gate going, it's £1 to see it. There it is. All right.
I went to, I know it's quite a big, I went to a Shire Horse Centre once.
Yeah.
But when did Shire horses become so popular that they got their own theme parks?
Well, I think there's a museum for everything.
Yeah, possibly so.
I mean, I don't think you could think of something that didn't have a museum somewhere in Britain, because obviously museums start off sometimes by fans.
But did people keep coming around going, I hear you got a Shire horse, I'd love to see it?
Yeah.
Well, I can't. People come all the time to see my Shire horse.
You should get another one, because I'd pay double for
I
those
pay
two.
good money to see your Shire horse.
Yeah.
Shire horses.
I know.
Have you seen them? They don't do anything. They're not like monkeys.
No, they're
They're just
not like
grand,
monkeys,
elegant
no.
creatures. But you look at them in a picture or look at them in real life, pretty much the same thing. They're not doing anything.
If they could train a Shire horse to swing on a rope and masturbate,
Exactly.
I'd pay double.
You pay good money.
I'd pay double for that.
Yeah.
There's a museum in Italy when we went there a couple of years back. Suzanne had like one of those little guide things. Museum there just for spaghetti.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
open a restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it interesting spaghetti? Spaghetti in different shapes?
Don't know, didn't go. I went to see a big hole in the ground. Not the
Sure.
end. Can't get enough of them. So,
Well, but out of 10 then, what would you give it out of 10? All in all,
Round the
food, location,
right.
relaxation, enjoyment.
Yeah, that's 6.
Okay, brilliant.
6, yeah.
Next week, where are you going next week? You're not on holiday next week.
Going
Cool.
away with Suzanne's mum and dad again.
5 holidays.
Wrote
Play a
some for
record.
that.
You've got to put some work in. You're in your 30s now. You've got to knuckle down. Boston, more than a feeling. XFM 104.9. Well, another big moment here. We've had Rockbusters. Now we're going to have Karl's film quiz thing, isn't it?
Yeah, film quiz thing. I've done Planet of the Apes, right? Because one of the things we did in Lanzarote went on this tour with sort of 3 northern blokes, and they didn't really know what they were talking about.
Joking.
What
You're
do you
joking. What? Northerners not know what they're talking about. You're having a
No,
laugh.
they'd obviously sort of not had much luck here, right? And thought, let's go over to Lanzarote, buy some vans, right? Get people in it. We'll do a tour of the island. And whenever someone asks the question like, what year did the volcano happen? They go, we'll take you to the visitor centres. You can read about it there. So they never actually answered anything, right? So they were useless. But one of the things that they told us was that Planet of the Apes was filmed in Lanzarote,
Right, okay.
right?
That makes sense.
A bit of it. Well, does it? Does
Well,
it make sense?
Well, what do you
All right,
mean,
well, maybe
does
it was, maybe it wasn't. Okay, anyway.
No. I mean, if they wanted to show sort of an Aaron, sort of barren, sort of post-apocalyptic sort of subject, choose where you went on holiday.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah, but when we were there, he took us to this sort of beach, and I said, "Is this where they did it?" And he was like, "Yeah." I said, "What? Right there, yeah." And I watched it, and I couldn't see where I was.
Yeah, you know that if you watch a film from 1968 and you've been to the same place, you're not going to feature. They're not going to see you in the back walking along the beach.
It's a new one, new Planet of the Apes.
Oh, the recent Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, that's what he said. Yeah, right. So I thought I'd sort of.
Now that sounds a little bit more far-fetched. I would have thought that was probably a lot in Hollywood.
Well, do you want a bit now, or what? What would it?
Well, no, I wanted you to tell Steve about your holiday, because you told me the week. Go on.
Steve, I mean, bad idea. I had a feeling anyway about going away with like Suzanne's mum and dad, because I've never been into sort of family holidays anyway, right? Even when you see it, whenever I've been on holiday and you see like families on planes and that, and they're all having a laugh and a joke, loving it, and then on the plane going back, you can see that they've gone off into groups, and like, the dad isn't talking to the daughter and all that business. So I thought, asking for trouble, but I do everything once. Do you know what I mean? Boxing, dancing, going on holiday with parents and that. Yeah. Give it a go, see how it goes, right? So
Not your A levels, but fair enough.
It started off. It started off bad, didn't it? Because last week I told you that our dad called us up and said, I want to take some tea bags with us to Madeira. Yeah. What's the best way of packing them? Yeah. Right, so I knew there was going to be problems like that, because the thing with Suzanne's family, right, they like having a routine. They know what they're doing every day. They know what they're having for tea every day. It's the same thing every week and stuff like that. Yeah. So I thought this is going to be interesting, because they can't do what they normally do. Sure.
I love it. I love you treating it like an experiment. Yeah. Right. Just watching them all the time.
So the first problem was they'd never flown before. So I was winding them up a bit. Saying, it's murder. It's really horrible. Plane goes all over the place. And a man had done some research
saying, well, I've been reading about it, and
Well, she got a funny accent.
more people, there's more chance of me being killed on a donkey than there is on a plane. So I upset her. I said, right, when we get there,
Spain.
I said, when we get there, let's see if there's any donkeys on the beach.
Yeah.
Right? And she didn't like that. So,
Oh, what? To joke about you hoping she died?
yeah.
Oh, what's up with her?
Right, so we get there, and, you know, they see the villa and that, they're quite happy with all that business, right, and all that stuff. And then, as time went on, I was getting a bit sort of fed up with them being around us all the time, because I think you should have your own time when you go on holiday with the family. We'll come with you. They said, no, it's just us, we're having a bit of time on our own, right?
Is it true you said to her, you told me this, you said to her, you started to annoy me, I want some time on my own?
Well, I told her at the start, I said, it's going to be interesting this, because people annoy me when they're around me a lot.
Sure.
So I wasn't nasty to her, I just was saying people, not her.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I'm just saying, you're going to get on my nerves. So,
you hailed a donkey for her.
so, no, but seriously, right, with the flying, do you know those stockings that you can get because of deep vein thrombosis?
Sure.
She had them on in the cab.
Brilliant.
And it's only a 2-hour flight as well, so that was annoying me. Right, so anyway, it gets to this, you know, the Thursday night when I'm going out with Suzanne, and her mum's like sat on the sun lounger outside, so where are we going tonight? I said, no, like I said, it's just us, we're going out having a bit of time to ourselves. So I could see as the day was getting on, she was realising that she's got a night in with like her husband, right? Her face started to like look miserable.
Sure.
I thought, I'm loving this. So I said, right, I'm going in to go and have a shower, go and get ready for the tonight. It's going to be great.
And winding them up, wind them up because they can't come, because he said they can't.
Right, so I go upstairs, have a shower and that. I come down, and a mum's smiling.
Oh, hang on.
So I'm thinking, hang on a minute, what's gone on here? So I went to Suzanne, I said, why's your mum smiling? She's not coming. She said, no, but my dad said he'll take her out now. So in a way, she was happy because she'd got her own way, which had annoyed me.
That annoyed you, sure, because you wanted to...
What, you don't even want her husband taking her out?
Well, it's just the fact she didn't want to go out. She was happy to stay in and have sausage, egg and chips that they'd found from some shop that sold English food.
Right.
So that's almost like what they do if they're at home.
Sausage, egg and chips.
So she was happy with that if we were staying in and having that. But because we were going out, she was fed up. Right. So she's smiling. So she's going, yeah, I'm going out now. So I said, well, enjoy yourself. She said, where are you going? I said, well, it doesn't matter, does it? You don't need to know.
Sure.
She's not going to where we're going. Oh, you just don't want us to be in the same restaurant. I said, yeah, that's right. I said, I want a night out on my own with Suzanne. It's our holiday as well.
I don't know, I can talk to you about
Amazing. This is not even his own parents. This is someone else's parents. These are the parents of the woman he loves.
But even Suzanne sort of agreed with me. There's only so much time you can spend with your parents. That's why you leave. That's why when you're ill, you don't go home to them. Yeah?
Sure. Yeah. Of course, the slight difference between me and you, Karl, is like, not everyone in the world annoys me.
Well, not everyone does, just...
I can see what... I felt a bit guilty that week when he said I was annoying him, but I realise it's not my fault now.
No, everyone annoys him.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was an alright holiday. It was good to get back.
Brilliant.
Won't be doing it again.
No. And what now would you say is your relationship with Suzanne's parents? Is it a frosty one?
No, I just think they know that I don't like to put up with them for a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, when we were packing, a man was upset because, like, she really liked the place where we were staying, right? Because it was quite a big villa, because there was a few of us. There was a brother as well with us, right? Yeah. So, a man said, oh, I love it here. She said, I'm definitely going to book this place again. I said, it's a bit big for two of you, isn't it?
Just being sarky, like, we're definitely... I said,
because, I won't be coming again.
You're like, I don't know what you're like, Karl. You're a monster. You're an absolute monster.
You're one of those people that goes, I say as speakers are fine, I say as that, and gibbered whap the wibble.
Yeah.
And never the werewolf slep.
You're like a middle-aged man. You're like an old man. You're like an old man, and you're what, 30?
I'm just imagine you scraping along in clogs and a flat cap going, oh, that tree's got to come down.
Yeah. Yeah. Puncturing a kid's ball if he kicks it into your garden by mistake.
Yeah.
Refusing to give it back.
Yeah, gather round. Yeah, there were once Chinese kid as hairy as that cow, which is weird because there's not many Chinese people that are hairy, but this one, I tell you, it were back in 1990.
Grandad, are you eating a Twix?
What are you doing, Karl?
I'm alright, yeah.
Another holiday?
Well, it wasn't holiday. It wasn't holiday.
Well, it was. You had 5 days off work. Why isn't it holiday? You had 5 days not working for a living. You know how many days holiday gets a year now? 29.
Oh, that's more than teachers, isn't it?
It makes me sick. It makes me sick.
Well, I know the kind of hours you work, Rick. It's mad. I mean, if you're not in work by midday, you're furious.
No, but I mean, I'm always...
29's normal for the normal working person.
Yeah, but, you know...
And anyway, it wasn't a proper holiday. I went to see my mum and dad. It's nice to see them and everything, but it's not a holiday, is it?
Why?
It's not going away. It's not getting on a plane, is it? Going away.
Oh, is that definitely a holiday? What happened before 1950?
I don't know.
People used to go... Yeah, exactly. People used to go to Blackpool, Brighton. That was holiday.
Yeah, but I didn't
Where did you go?
Went to Wales.
There you go. Lovely holiday. Lovely holiday. Have a holiday in Wales. That's what they say, innit? Come to Wales and have a holiday. That's what they say, innit? So come to Wales and meet your parents. Come to Wales and have a lovely holiday.
Right. Well, anyway, it was good and that. It's always good to see him.
Yeah.
But
week off work.
do you know, like my mum likes gnomes and stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Of course she does. She's lived with one for 30 years.
She said, get your dad to take us to this park where they've got 6-foot gnomes and stuff. Right. Have a walk about.
Sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah.
Sounds like a living nightmare.
Keep an eye on Karl.
So anyway,
he stood still for 2 minutes. Someone bought him.
No. You can't buy them and that. It's like a little exhibition thing,
Yeah.
right? And it's part of a hall, right? This big hall that you have to pay to get in. But we didn't want to see the hall. I just wanted to see the gnomes.
Of course you did, yeah.
So anyway, my dad says, yeah, well, we can get in there for free.
Of course he did. Clever.
Right? So we parked up on this little country lane, right? No one about. We walked
How much
down,
was it to go in? Like £2?
about £3 each.
Yeah.
But he said, well, yeah, but if you don't have to pay, do you know what I mean? You enjoy it even more, don't you, when you're walking about and you think, I've got this £3 in my pocket, no one's having it.
Yeah.
Right?
No, looking over shoulder for a bloke with a peak hat saying, can I see your ticket, please? I wouldn't enjoy it more, no. Go on.
Yeah, but you don't worry about it. do you?
You've got a bit of money now then, Rick. You've changed.
So anyway, we had to walk across about 4 fields.
For £3.
Right? And what happened was, we're walking through all these fields and what have you, big grass and muddy bits and all that, because it'd been raining, and climbing over fences and stuff. And we're in this field, right? And I look to my right, and there's about 30 cows all staring at us, right? And Suzanne started to panic a bit. She said, we shouldn't be here. Dad says, of course we can. We're allowed to go wherever we want. All this land, it's ramblers' rights and all that stuff.
Yeah. And take a cow if you want. Unattended. Serves him right for leaving him in the field unattended. I'm having one.
Yeah.
So keep us fed for a week.
Across. Anyway, these cows start surrounding us.
Surrounding us. Oh, brilliant.
Oh, no.
Thanks off.
And Suzanne's panicking, going, this isn't right. We're not going to make it to the fence in time. They're moving faster than us, and he started sort of running a bit.
Wow.
And
it's like some kind of bovine West Side Story. A gang of cows coming at you.
Don't worry about it and stuff. But my dad had to sort of stand there and wave a stick at him.
Of course.
And we got away, but Suzanne was having a bit of a sweat on.
Got away.
Saying, we could have got killed.
Sure.
And my dad saying, no, it never happens. And I just wondered if it does, if there's a risk of...
Yeah, it is rare, but there's been a couple of cases of being trampled by cows. They're not aggressive, they sort of run through you. Well, they're aggressive if they've got a calf.
Did they have kids?
What?
They had kids with them.
Kids, yeah. That's goats you're thinking of. Yeah.
Maybe they were trying to sneak into the gnome thing, and they were worried that, if too many people did it, they thought some cows, we can just sneak in where cows, no one's expecting cows.
And the cows were going, walk upright like a human. Don't walk upright.
They thought you'd blow their cover.
Yeah. Yeah, people have been killed by cows before.
Yeah, that was like the highlight, and then...
So when you arrived there, you were presumably covered in mud, looking like something that had just come from Glastonbury, staggering around this exhibition.
It wasn't that bad. It was just like a woods, and it had like a funny sort of funeral, like a graveyard thing.
Right.
With bodies sort of hanging out the ground and that. And we had these 6-foot gnomes.
Right.
And then we just set off again, walked back. But we didn't
Sure
have to
this
go to
wasn't a
the field.
dream?
No, it was good. But then I got back, right, Steve, and called up Ricky. I said, right, are you about? Have a chat and that. So he said, oh, just come round. It's a nice day. Have a drink and what have you. So I got round there at about 6:30, right? Go up to his door, knock on his door, right? He stood there with his tackle out.
Oh.
Especially when it's there. When you ring the bell, and I mean the one on the door, right? And that's hanging out.
And does he dress to the left or the right?
It was to the left, right?
Yeah, it was left, yeah. Just popped out of my shorts for him. Just popped him out of the shorts.
Should have seen the state of him. Shorts on, no top, cigar. Looked like someone out of The Sopranos. It was a mess.
Yeah.
And then,
we sat on the balcony drinking wine, didn't we?
Did you pop it back in, or was it?
Yeah, I popped it straight back in. I've got the laugh.
Sure.
I've got the laugh I
Yeah.
wanted.
Yeah.
He walked in, he went, it's not that hot. Straight away. It's not that hot. Oh, brilliant.
And,
was that knob news, or is there more?
no, it's got more knob news.
That's just a taster.
Just a taste.
Listen, let's play some adverts. Let's play some great music, and maybe we should have some early knob news.
No, because it's in the middle of the night. Can't go out. See, this is what I mean with you. You think you know it all. Just go out. Yeah, I'll tell you what then. Let's go back and let's see you go out in the middle of the night in the jungle. There's all sorts out there. The noise that's in the jungle is... Nothing goes to bed at night. That's why there's a lot of nocturnal stuff. No one can get their eyes shut. Everything's off. Snakes going, stuff clip. There was something outside my tent. I'm not joking. It was man-size. And it was making a human noise.
Was it a human?
No. I'm talking like gorilla-type noise.
Right.
Well, that's terrifying. And you're saying, oh, just nip out.
Yeah,
Go for a piss.
but he could go in the tent if he wanted, couldn't he?
No.
What a thin sheet of nylon keeps him... All right, lads, don't go in there.
No, because they don't know, do
There's a
they?
bit of cloth. There's a bit of cloth. We can't get through that. Wait till he comes out for a piss. He's got an Evian bottle. We're screwed.
I'm just saying, I had to empty my Evian bottle.
In the morning.
No, in the night, because it was only a little one. Like
So
that.
you pissed in the tent and then emptied it out, so you were out there anyway?
Yeah, but it's just my hand going out, going like that, and coming back in again.
Surely you'd rather lose your penis than your hand? No, nothing wants your penis.
You'd be surprised. Honestly, there's some weird stuff out there. Do you know these fish in the Amazon that go up your knob? Now everyone's saying to me, you've seen the Amazon? That's amazing. Well, how come the stuff that lives in it doesn't want to live in it? They'd rather live in my knob than live in the river. So you're telling me that I'm meant to be lucky? That's what I'm saying. Nowhere's safe. You can never relax.
Yeah, I didn't go to school much because my mum and dad had a caravan.
Right.
And
No need, is there? No need when you've got that sort of fun at home.
I used to just go away for weeks.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah, honestly.
Where'd you used to go?
Port Maddock.
But
And so you didn't go to school much?
No, I did, but not as much as everyone else.
no.
How many holidays were your parents having?
Oh,
What
loads.
was their income that they could...
No, my dad used to work nights, and he used to travel back, because to Manchester from Wales, it wasn't that far. And
Manchester to Wales?
He used to do 4 on and 4 off, so me and my mum were, like, loving it.
But what Port Meredith?
Port Maddock.
Port
Just
Maddock,
down the road from Port Merion, where they filmed The Prisoner.
right?
Oh, so that's cleared up for me.
Yeah,
Location-wise.
So what did you do then? You were in this little 2-berth caravan on the back of a Cortina estate.
Right.
Well, what was it? What was the car? I want the... What was
Granada, Ford Granada.
it? Ford Granada. What are we talking?
I know.
1980...
Yeah, 82, 83,
right.
84, 85.
Okay.
Those years.
And you in the car down there, park up.
Yeah.
What was it? What was Port Meredith?
Port Maddock.
Port Maddock.
Remember Ruth?
It's just,
Oh, yeah.
it's just a holiday camp,
Yeah.
and had an arcade and a beach. I was loving it.
Yeah.
But, so of the 52 weeks of the year, let's assume, I don't know how many weeks you take off normally for holidays anyway. Let's just say, I don't know, you go to school 45 weeks of the year maybe? Generally, most kids?
Nah.
Bit less.
Bit less than
About
that.
42.
How many weeks would you say you actually spent in school?
Well, how many weeks do you have off for summer?
Well, we'll work that out. That's what
About
we mean.
6 off for summer, about 3 for Easter, about 3 for Christmas.
Put it this way, I'm surprised I'm not Welsh, to be honest.
Right.
Because I was there more than was in Manchester.
Did the school authority not come and check you out?
No, they didn't.
Didn't get Manchester, I suppose they didn't care, do they?
Not really.
Yeah.
They're lucky you turned up at all. What did you just turn up for the last day when you could take in your best toy? Did you know that, or you could take it in any game?
Just play with everyone else's. Why, I break my stuff.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's a good
Well, this
point.
answers a lot. This does answer a lot. The fact that you spent most of your time on the beach as a kid.
Teachers were no good at my school. We were talking about it yesterday.
So you were teaching them a lesson by going off for the summer. Yeah.
Anyway.
And did you go to university?
No.
No. Did you go to sixth form or college?
No.
When did you leave school?
When I was about 15.
Right. What, you just went on holiday and didn't come back?
I just got a job early, didn't I?
Where was it? Portmaddock?
Getting there. No, I was a printer. BM Print in Trafford Park.
Well, that's great. That's a little interview there.
Yeah, little
next, I'll be interviewing Steve Merchant. What are we playing next?
Bit of elbow.
Oh, this is fantastic. This is Elbow. What an amazing track.
Incredible.
The
You
Who.
don't know when else is playing that on a Saturday afternoon, Rick?
No.
Are they?
No, I wouldn't have thought so.
I mean that in a good way. I mean that like we're breaking new territory. Like
Just the
playing songs
intro.
from the early
The intro
70s.
has got to win the best. Oh no. I think Dr. Fox or Simon Bates said that about a track once.
Really?
This has got to be the best intro of a rock song ever. The fact that I was saying it about The Who and he was saying it about Money for Nothing is irrelevant.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Someone made me sit in their car once with their new car stereo system so that they could play me the beginning of Money for Nothing.
Oh.
Just sat there, I was like, yeah.
Have we got that?
crack
You've
it
probably got that in the library, haven't you?
Is it right that Roger Daltrey in The Who,
yeah, that's right.
his kid is in EastEnders, that one who plays Robbie? Something my mum told me, and I don't know if she's got it right or wrong. But it does look like
that's
him.
What, Dean Gaffney?
Yeah. But he didn't want to go off his dad's name and that, so he's changed
So he
it.
used his brilliant talent and his pox-faced.
Do you know if that's right?
Well, I don't know.
'Cause it looks like him, doesn't it?
Well, I'm sure that's libelous if it's wrong.
Oh, right, yeah, you'd be ashamed to have Roger Daltrey as your dad.
Well, no, but Roger Daltrey might not want it getting round that he gave birth to Specky.
Yeah, right, actually.
I see what you mean.
Specky? Spotty?
Spotty, so I looked at you.
Yeah. All right, calm down.
Well, I don't know, you've got nice clear skin. At least I didn't call you Spotty goggle-eyed freak boy. You've got a nice skin, a nice complexion, smooth-faced goggle-eyed freak boy fish.
thank you.
Yeah.
Let's be nice.
Carl, what? Don't you like us arguing? Is it like mum and dad arguing? Do you get all...
It's a bit like that.
In the caravan. There was nowhere to escape to.
Oh no, rattling round
Did you
that
make any friends when you were down on the caravan site?
Yeah, a lot of people from Birmingham were there.
What kind of pals did you have? What were their names?
I can't remember, it was years ago, but
Yeah.
they all had rich parents.
Right.
Like, they had, like, their own car to drive around the campsite on and all that.
Right.
Yeah,
So I...
their own fence.
So I'd have a
With-
go.
And but they were mates, and you saw them every year, did you? Or every 3 weeks when you went down there?
Yeah.
Oh. You didn't keep in touch with any of them?
No.
I'll admit now, I went to the same place in the caravan for about 6 years running. I went to a place called Riverside in Bognor, because someone round the corner from us had a caravan, two-berth caravan. Me, my mum, and my nan.
I think I'm really lucky to have had it, really. Because a lot of mates who I had didn't have enough money to go on holiday, and they just get a present for the summer holiday.
Of course, they got an education, so it swings
Yeah,
around
but
a bit.
Carl, the thing is with Carl is, right, I want to give him gifts.
Yeah.
I want him to have the loveliest Christmas ever. I want him to go pony trekking. Do you know what I mean? I want to just...
Scared of horses.
So many things we don't know about Carl.
Fell off one out of fate, and the woman didn't know what to do. She couldn't handle the horse. It was running off. I was hanging underneath, getting a kick in the head. No,
Really?
Now, hang on, what age were you? 'Cause this could explain a lot.
I was about 6.
That makes a lot of sense. I think we've got to the bottom of it here.
Oh no, got kicked in their head by a horse, lived in a caravan, and had to live in Wales half the time. Oh, then no wonder this is your favourite time of the week. Do you look forward to this all week, these 2 hours?
It's all right. It's not
What would
bad.
make you truly happy, Carl? Do you mind me just asking that? What would make you truly happy in life?
I was thinking about it in a week, and I don't know.
You don't know. There's nothing that you particularly want that you feel like once I've got that.
Well, the easy answer there is money, innit? But I don't
No, it's
know.
not
I
true.
don't know if it's true.
No, you just need enough
Do
money.
you feel spiritually satisfied?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say.
Carl, have you embraced the good word of the Lord?
What do you mean?
Well, Jesus Christ, our Lord and Saviour.
We're having a meeting tomorrow. It's in the church hall, and we'd like you to come along.
I went to a church.
Rick, I've got to say
once.
this. I got this housemate who I don't know that well, and I've been living with him for about two months or something, right?
Yeah.
And he's in the kitchen, he's washing up, and I just turned to him, right, and he doesn't know me that well because we sort of talk to each other now, but we don't know. And I just turned to him, I went, Matt, have you got to know the good word of the Lord? And he went, and he looked at me with utter fear in his face. And I just went, I just think we should sit down a bit and, just talk about, the word of the Gospels. And he just looked at me and he was utterly petrified. I just started laughing, cracking up. And it's the sigh of relief. He was absolutely petrified. It's a brilliant game to play if you're getting a lift on a long car journey with people you don't know. What?
Did you see that story in the week with a farmer who got his arm stuck in a bit of machinery? And he was going on about, he came on with a false arm, so you knew something was wrong straight away. But
you knew it wasn't going to end happily.
But he was, he said, I'm a farmer, I've been a farmer for years, and I'm always telling people don't stick your hands in machines. He said, but I got off my tractor and the machine had stopped, and he went to shift some, I don't know if it was a Coke can or something that was in the field and the machine.
Bloody cage drinking Coke.
Oh, this is not the famous one that about 15 years, and he took his arm to the hospital, and he was making jokes. His arm was in ice.
He didn't take his... No. What it was his hand went in and the machine started again, and it started pulling at his skin, right? So, like, the skin was coming off his arm, and it was going around the rollers, and he's pulling back like that, so he's like, oh, God. And the skin's, like, being wrapped around, and it's, like, pulling it, so he can see his bone and stuff.
Oh, no.
And he was there for, like, ages, going, oh, God. And he had a penknife in his pocket, so he got that out with the other hand, managed to open it. That's
because they stick, don't they, after a while? I've got one of those Swiss Army knives.
And that's what it was.
I can't do it with two hands sometimes once they get all full of gunk.
He managed to do that with one hand and cut away at the skin.
That's not true, is it?
Yeah.
Has he learned to farm again, like the drummer of Def Leppard? Has learned to drum again?
Have they got just like the handles?
Can he farm now with just one arm?
He was good because he was making a joke out of it and that.
Oh, that's good.
I think that's good, but
that doesn't mean you can, Steve. Though.
No, sure.
He had to cut his own flesh off to escape a combine harvester. Yeah. He doesn't need you.
Making wisecracks.
Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
I just always remember getting a hot plate out of the oven when I was younger, and that absolutely killed.
Yeah.
It stuck to my fingers, and I just thought the pain that he must have been going through.
Yeah. Must have been what? You must have been worse than a hot plate.
Oh.
It must have been worse than maybe dropping a pie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. When are we going to talk about Karl?
Have we run out of stuff already? Okay, let's go.
Okay, now,
So where did you go, Karl? What was the story?
It was my birthday, right? Went home after working with you a couple of Saturdays ago, right? Girlfriend was like, open your card. And I said, no, it's my birthday on Monday, I'll open it then.
You obey by the rules, certainly on birthdays. Birthday rules.
Well, there's no point.
Well, exactly, chaos leads that way.
Yeah, right, so...
Not an anarchist, never has been.
So anyway, she was kept going on, and it was doing me head in, so I said, all right, I'll open it.
Yeah.
So I opened it, ticket fell out, surprise holiday to one of the Canary Islands. So...
And what was your reaction?
First one was we haven't got enough money for this, but I didn't want to ruin it, so
no.
So I didn't go on about that, and I said, oh, it'd be great, so I can't wait. So,
did you say it in that tone of voice?
Well, it was good timing because I was tired and everything, and I'm not a big holiday fan, but the timing was right.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's the same as last night. I don't always like a curry, but last night...
You're in the mood.
You get that sort of, oh, yeah.
Curry, you had a feeling.
Yeah, you had a feeling.
You thought, and then, lo and behold, later you were eating the curry.
Right.
It's weird, isn't it? Isn't it weird, the paranormal? Isn't it weird?
They work in mysterious ways, ghosts.
Yeah.
So anyway, right, the island, if I was on with you here, I'd probably say it's a bit barren.
Okay.
Not much there, but if you get a hotel, you guarantee good weather. Right.
Are you?
No, what I mean is, it'll be a good holiday. If you get a hotel, right, the weather's always good, so you'll have a nice time.
Yeah, it was a comma, Go on.
And all that, and the food was all right, and everything was going all right. I was just having a nice, relaxing time.
And how do you sort of spend your time on a holiday? You just lie around? Is that
sort of holiday, just lying around?
Yeah.
I bought a book.
You bought a book?
Yeah.
Okay, ghosts?
No, it was short stories, right?
About ghosts?
No, it was about like special days in our time and time before me and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like, it was telling you about how in, I think it was 1814, the Thames frozen up.
Yeah.
And all these stories are told by eyewitnesses.
Yeah.
Right? So there's some fella who was around in 1814 and the Thames was frozen and people used to put market stalls on there and they'd do the shopping. It was like an Oxford Street.
Was that Mad Liar Charlie? No, because he's famous for that.
Well, I'm sure,
No, I think that was Mad Liar Charlie.
Right.
Yeah.
So I was reading that, and then after a couple of days, was a bit like,
boring.
Yeah, you can only do sort of so much lying around
And so much reading.
So Suzanne said, let's go on the beach, have a walk.
You ain't gone on the beach?
Where had you been up to this point then? In your room?
No, just like around the pool, just relaxing and having a swim and that.
Yeah.
So she said, let's go on the beach. I said, all right then, yeah. So wandered down to the beach, and first impressions are, yeah, it's all right, it's clean.
Your criteria is so basic, it's brilliant.
Right.
Hotel, yes. Roof, good. Food, adequate. Beach, clean. Next.
So I'm walking along, and everything's good, and there's a woman feeding fish bread, which I thought that's different.
I love that. He likes originality. He loves a bit of originality.
She was feeding fish bread?
This woman was there, like, up to her knees in water.
Yeah.
And she was stood there.
Was that a sea?
Chucking, yeah.
Oh, right, good.
Chucking this bread, and I thought, what's she doing? And I stood there and watched for a minute, and there was little fish coming up, having the bread. I thought, oh. So we carried on walking, and everything's going well, and then this fella comes towards me.
Everything's going well.
Yeah, that's
I haven't fallen over.
Clean feeding bread. 2 points for originality. Yeah.
Fella comes walking towards me.
Oi, oi.
He's only got no pants on.
Oh.
So I said, Suzanne, what's going on?
Why did he turn to her? Like she knows more
So
than him.
she said, oh, yeah, it's, she said, yeah, it's a nudity.
Is this going to be a long story? Could you pour that coffee? Can you give me that coffee over? Sorry, this is really bad. Yeah, because he's pouring... Thank you.
Just amuse yourselves while we talk the coffee.
Thank you very much.
Steve, do you want
I'll have a cup of coffee, Karl.
Right.
Thanks, yeah. Cheers.
Cold. Right, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Great. Thank you.
So she said, yeah, it's a nudist beach. So I said, well, why? What? I said, we're all mixed. It's all mixed up. Normally on a nudist beach, it's a nudist beach, and you don't go wandering on there when you get your clothes on and that. So it annoyed me a bit because there wasn't any signs. So this fella's getting closer.
Well, the knob out was a sign.
Yeah. Right. So he's getting closer, and he walked past me. It was an old fella. And he walked past and he had a hat on and a little pipe and a big rucksack on his back. Right, so he got me thinking...
Not strictly naked.
I'm walking along and I'm thinking, right, why do people want to do this? So straight away, I wasn't on holiday anymore, because most of the time when I'm on holiday, I don't think about anything. Right?
Your mind's a blank.
I just switch off. Right? But all of a sudden, this has got in my head now, and I turn around to look at him, and...
Check out his arse.
And this bag, right, I swear, it was massive, right?
What? You had a massive bag?
The bag.
His rucksack?
His rucksack.
Oh, right, okay. When he said there's an old couple coming towards me, I said, what was lower, the bloke's bollocks or the woman's tits? And he said, well, that was another point. She might as well have worn knickers. Because so you can see it. That's what he said to me.
So you saw the bag?
So it annoyed me, yeah, because the whole idea, innit, this is what I think, I mean, I might be wrong, right? Might be wrong.
Chances are
You never have been before.
Being nudist, right? What's it all about?
Think of computers.
What about them?
Well, I mean, that's in the last few years, 100 years in our existence, okay, they've been dabbling with anything even close to a computer. Nothing before that.
Yeah, computers are a good thing, and it baffles me as to how they came about. When you think a computer chip is just made out of sand. Now, for someone to come up with that, you go, there must have been some sort of alien involved here.
What do you mean? Why do you think that? So I love it. So the frisbee, rubbish. Anything too clever, well, it wasn't an invention, it was an alien. So there's nothing between frisbee and computer chip.
What I'm saying is, it's not even an idea, is it?
What do you mean?
A computer chip, where's that come from?
Oh, it's amazing. Well, it's astounding, yeah.
So you think it was an alien? What are you talking about?
Great.
Because I can't believe that someone would go, right, I want to make something that will hold information and be able to do... I don't know, let's use some sand, we've got loads of that. You'd go, what are you don't...
Well, that's what genius is, though, isn't
Karl,
it?
there's no alien involved.
No, but when I say alien, I don't mean an alien came down here and said, oh, do you want to buy this? There could have been a spaceship crash, right?
Right, yeah.
And there's all them rumours, isn't there, in that hangar.
They've got the spaceship, they take it apart, they go, yeah, wheels, we've got them, yeah, steering wheel, and then they go, hang on, what's this here? And they find the chips, and they break it down, and they find
Karl,
sand.
but that as an explanation to human Adam and Eve, don't they wish there was a slightly better explanation? With all the evidence we've got, do you know what I mean? With all the evidence for evolution, that they think the Earth is 5,000 years old, and God made Adam out of some dust, and then he went, oh, I need a bird. It's alright, I'll make it out of your rib.
Yeah, but there's loads of things that you go, oh, this is a bit embarrassing. I bet Charles Darwin, when he said we've all come from apes, I bet he sat at home going, should I tell him about the frisbee first?
But the fact that sand makes computer chips is not the interesting thing. The interesting thing is how the human being discovered that, what am I talking about, sand makes computer chips, that silicon can have information put on it. But we're made out of oxygen, nitrogen, carbon, do you know what I mean? And hydrogen.
But that's nature. You see, nature is amazing. You can't beat nature. Right?
No.
It comes up with some amazing things.
Yeah, but man is nature. Don't forget that we're an animal. We're a brilliant ape. Now, it's clear to any sensible, reasonable, educated person that we did evolve from apes, or rather, we had a common ancestry, and that we're closest to the chimpanzee. We're actually 98.6% genetically identical to a chimpanzee, Karl. We're closer to a chimp than a chimp is to a gorilla. Genetically speaking.
I just find that hard to believe when you.
Well, I'm telling you, it's true. So, what are you finding hard to believe?
Well, your eyes, your own eyes, are what sort of comes up with a lot of thoughts.
No. One's eyes don't come up with thoughts.
No, but what I'm saying is,
what you mean is
through your own eyes,
you look at things and make up your own decisions.
So if there was no Darwin or anything, and I was sat somewhere, and someone said, right, we're going to bring a few animals in. One of them's related.
Right. They're all related.
Alright, but they're all related to you, but one's not so long ago, right? And they brought them in, and they lined them up, and there was a chimp stood there, and a gorilla, and what's another one? Orangutan. Right. Yeah. Right, I go, the orangutan, send that out. I'll be first to go, so he's definitely not linked to me.
See, I disagree, but there we go. That's just looking at you.
Yeah. So the hair colouring, there's none of that in our family.
Well, there's no hair.
I like the fact that it loses out because it's ginger.
So that's gone. Right, so I'm left with a gorilla and a chimp.
Yeah.
I would go for the gorilla.
Well, it's a good guess, but you'd be wrong. So we are much closer to the chimpanzee, okay? 98.6% genetically identical. Think of that. We only differ on 1.4% of our genetic makeup.
That must be the arse. Because that's a lot different.
Told Suzanne that I had read that we will have spoken to aliens by the year 2025. Ricky once told me that if a lion could speak English, it still couldn't have a good chat with us because its life is different to ours. If that's true, we've got no chance with an alien. I'd be worried that an alien could read my mind. I had that problem once years ago, when I worked in a studio making cassettes. Some mind-reading woman was having some cassettes made. She waited while I did them. She had a small dog. I knew she was trying to read my mind, so I just thought about the dog. I thought that would confuse her, because she wouldn't understand why I was thinking about her dog.
That's amazing.
So, firstly, how did you know she was a mind-reading woman?
Everybody who came in having cassettes done, you'd find out about what the job is. So, you know, if it's a band or whatever, it might be a police station needing blank cassettes to interview people.
Yeah.
And she had them to sort of use during a thing where they do mind reading and stuff. So you get a recording of it.
Yeah.
And she was just there and she was staring at me like that, just looking over. And a dog was sort of looking worried, and they pick up vibes, don't they?
No.
They do.
And were they looking, I'm not being funny, were they looking at the roundness of your head, do you think?
They were just looking at me, and I was sort of panicking a bit, and the more that I was thinking she's reading my mind, I was thinking she knows that I know that she's reading my mind, so I just stopped thinking about her reading my mind, thought about the dog.
What were you thinking about the dog?
Just running about on the beach.
He remembers what he was thinking!
No, just so she thought, oh, hang on a minute, it's not his mind, it's the dog's mind I'm picking up.
Oh, so you thought she'd go, oh no, I'm getting it all taken up. I've got a cross line here.
I met up with my mate Laurie. He said he was in a pub at the weekend and saw a bloke whose hands were on the wrong arms. Well, he had his left hand on his right arm and the right hand on the left arm. I don't think this would be a problem if he's been like that from an early age. When I was in Ripley's in LA, I saw a bloke whose head was on back to front.
That's more annoying, isn't it, than your hands? Isn't it?
Now then, would you walk? How would you walk? Would you be walking backwards, Carl, so that you could walk? So you're basically walking forwards.
I reckon I'd walk sideways so nobody would sort of tell the difference. It just looked like.
Oh, God! He solved it again!
He's thought it through. Ah. Got home and read in a magazine. There was a story about a baby that was born that looked like a frog. What magazine's this?
That made the news. That was in a proper newspaper in the end.
It didn't really have a neck or top half of its head. It would look all right if it always wore a scarf and a hat. The world would be a more interesting place if there were loads of different types of humans like there are creatures. Then some people would be good at certain jobs. Spider people, ant people, builders, cockroach people, dustbin men.
Good idea, isn't it?
I mean,
Cockroach men, spider men, what are you talking about?
Look at some insects, right?
Yeah.
They don't have machinery, yet they're getting by, aren't they? They have their lives like we do. They get up, they wander about, they collect food, they tidy up, they fix stuff, they make their own house. We can't do any of that. So what I'm saying is, why aren't we using them? Why are these cockroaches with all these powers and stuff
powers
going about?
It's all these
But
powers.
how could we use them? How could we harness
Just
them?
told you, dustbin men. Or whatever that
No,
was.
you said that if they were also men, if they were cockroach men, we could use them.
You've left a big bit out, but when that 1-inch cockroach becomes a 6-foot bloke wearing a jacket.
It's just that we always use insects for like a bit of fun. You see flea circuses and all that, which is all very well, but I don't think it's getting the most out of them.
Woke up at 9:55 a.m. Soon as I woke up, I looked at Suzanne and she looked at me. I said, "Did I tell you about the immune system?" Suzanne started laughing. I said, "It's amazing." She said, "Not now."
Oh, God! I was thinking
Springing into action, he zips up, his eyes are like... Did I tell you about the immune system? Oh, shut up, Carl. Put the kettle on.
Oh, God! Oh, fucking hell!
Oh, chimpanzee, that has only gone and written it down.
The jingle there to announce yet another reading from Karl Pilkington's diary. My mum called me to ask me to look in some of the magazine shops in London for a magazine that she can't find. It's called UFO Data. I said, I ain't heard of it. She said she's seen an advert for it in one of her ghost magazines.
I love the fact that she can't even find the magazine about unidentified flying objects.
Yeah. So we get a clue
She
there.
thinks, I think I saw something, but I don't know whether it was a magazine or not.
So we get a clue there as to why you give any credence to this crap.
Yeah, well, it's, you know, I mean,
Mama Pilkington's into the same shit.
there's a lot of space out there, isn't there?
She said that this magazine has got news story about how Aldrin, brackets astronaut, has got some evidence that aliens exist.
Yeah.
I told her that I found out today that the days are about 36 minutes longer on Mars. We chatted about how this is how they are more advanced than us. Do you mean the Martians?
Yeah, if they've got a longer day, that's more time that they're awake working on stuff.
Right, yeah, we know that makes no difference at all.
No, it does.
Think about it. Think
Yeah.
about it.
Look, think about it. 6 o'clock here.
Yeah.
People are going, see you tomorrow. I'm going home. They'll be going, oh, another half hour. They've got a longer day. Productive.
And that's why they're able to fly.
That's why they're whizzing around. It adds up, doesn't it, over the years?
Christ almighty, what drivel!
Suzanne got in from work at 11:30. I told her about the UFOs in Mars. She said she's too tired to chat. I said, does it mean aliens will be more tired than us, or do they get more sleep? I got no answer. I love it when
It
Suzanne
scares
goes in.
her.
She never indulges
No,
you.
it
does she?
scares her. Anything with ghosts and UFOs, she sort of...
It doesn't
ignores
scare her,
does
it bores
scare
her.
No, it freaks her out.
Scares her. Okay. Read about a pub that is getting some stick because they've stopped a horse going in. It's been the horse's regular for ages, but there's been some new owners who've taken over the pub and they said they're serving fresh fruit and don't want a horse in there anymore.
Tom.
Suzanne said I looked tired and fed up. She taught me some way to breathe that will relax me. I wasn't feeling that relaxed, though, because the person behind the counter was banging about making a coffee. Noise stresses me out. I wonder if less deaf people die of stress than people with working ears do.
Oh, it's the theories. It's the theories.
It is such a noisy world, though, isn't it?
It is. London is noisy, very noisy.
I think just everywhere, just noise in general. They were saying how, like, every noise has been used at least 5 times or something.
What do you mean?
Because there's only so many noises in the world.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, there's only so many
What
noises.
do you mean every noise has been used 5 times? I don't know what that means. I don't know what it means.
Because
Every noise once has been used at least 5 times.
there's only so many noises. It's like a piano, isn't there? There's only so many notes.
Yeah.
And there's only so many noises.
Right.
But because there's so much stuff, the same noises are being used again.
I don't know what that means.
By whom? Who's reusing the noise?
By whatever.
So a
you'll have-
woodpecker when it's woodpecking?
Yeah. Some birds make noises that would sound like a Ford Escort, just because there's only so many noises that people can use.
What is he talking about?
Noises are a byproduct. Outside an instrument,
Yeah.
noises are a byproduct. They don't, a machine, they don't go, watch me make this noise, make this machine. It makes the noise it makes when it's doing something.
But why does it make that noise? Why not pick another noise?
They don't pick the
Well,
noise.
who's picking
I know.
the noise?
A
That's
printing press makes the noise because it's the sound of the thing
Yeah.
going down.
Yeah,
you
so
know,
the printing-
a hammer makes that noise because that's what it does. No one's going, oh, can we make this make a different noise? No, it's a byproduct.
I
It's-
know. So there's only so many noises.
I don't know what you mean. When Stevenson's rocket came, and I went. Can you make it go? It's what. That's the noise it made.
I know, but then, say like a new frog comes out.
Oh, what do you mean a new frog comes out?
They find a new type of frog.
Right.
It makes a noise, and
Yeah.
they'll go, "Yeah, I knew it was going to sound like that."
What are you talking
Because
about?
there's only so many noises. No animal comes out and makes like a weird noise, and you go, "I've never heard that noise before." They go, "Oh, that sounds like a chicken," or "It sounds like a Ford Escort," or there's only so many
What
noises.
frog sounds like a Ford Escort?
Well,
No,
there
but there'll be
can't be
some
many
animal.
because you've used Ford Escort twice as an analogy here. So you're running out of noises. You've come up with chicken and Escort so far.
I can't explain
But the problem
it.
is, a Ford Escort sounds a bit like an Austin Allegro, so
I
I don't
know, yeah. And a chicken, you're ripping off the turkey, you cunt. Feeder, come back around. He's getting all stressed again.
You know, we've only done an hour.
I know. I'll tell you what. This
You know,
seems
there's
like
another
3.
hour to
I
go.
know. I don't know what it seems like to the listeners. I say
I'll tell you
listeners.
this, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, Karl, but I think maybe someone else should come in and press the buttons. Because I'm not sure you're across it. I don't think you can concentrate on talking and working at the same time. I'm not sure you can...
Walking.
Yeah,
and
it's,
eating.
for you it seems as a
Oh
bit
no!
like...
Don't say that. Look, he's gutted. No, there's a lot of gone wrong here. I say, throw this desk out and get a real one. Seriously.
Well, I think there's a Fisher Price when you can buy in Argos that might be
Yeah,
worth
but
getting.
yeah, we got there, but we were stunned because it was second hand. This one, but this is like the Mir space station. I mean, it really is falling apart. Get a new one in. Let's not, Oh, I can't believe it. Get the. I mean, look at that. Look at the library. Look at the gaps in the
Right,
library.
let's not go on about this because this isn't good.
What? Whereas that quiz was. Whereas that was good radio.
You can join in and stuff.
But the
with that.
problem is,
okay.
Karl, why do you rush to do it? I told you before we should practice these things. That's how
Although
it's
to be
done.
fair, Steve, I haven't got time to do anything. So at least Carl's coming up with stuff.
But I don't mind, running
What other
through with
ideas
it
have you
while
got?
you're having a kip outside.
Really,
doing
what
the
other ideas have you
records.
got? Have you got any other ideas, Carl? Because we've got another hour. Have you got
Well,
anything at all?
I've got that feature educating Ricky, which is a bit of a play on words as well. Right? Do you know the film, Steve?
Educating Rita.
Yeah.
I see what you've done. Go
I'm
on.
doing that, and I teach Ricky stuff.
What do you teach me, Carl?
Well, I've got a few different topics.
Go on.
Do you know, like how you taught me about Hitler and Che Guevara and Winston Churchill? Mm-hmm. I'm going to come in with topics every week, and this week I've got
Ghosts.
No, hanging bacon is one of the topics.
Say that again.
Hanging bacon.
Hanging bacon.
All the titles.
Francis Bacon.
No, all the titles are sort of named to sort of tease you and get you more interested in it.
Hanging bacon. Well, you've certainly intrigued
Go
me.
on. What's another title? Go on.
Hairy Chinese kid.
I'm gonna go for that one.
If there was a university degree with that title,
Yeah. No, I'm gonna go for hairy Chinese kid.
And
I
the
think.
final one,
Yeah.
Alien gives man a beard.
Right.
Alien gives man a beard.
I am going to burst. Right, listen, Carl, you've got to tell me. Right, first, right, let's do it in reverse order.
We're not going to do it now anyway.
What do you mean? We've got to do it now. I mean, this is the first interesting thing you've said in an hour. Okay, the listeners have just been subjected to rubbish and mistakes and everything for the last 6 months. Please, we've got to do Alien Gives Man a Beard. What is that? Tell us that.
Right.
Sorry, this is just you telling me something, is it? This feature is you telling me something.
Well, teaching you something, educating Ricky. Huh?
So are we playing it now? We're already into this feature. Well into this feature, are we?
Yeah, I suppose we are. Yeah.
Should there not be a jingle or something?
Yeah, can we have a
Well, there's
jingle?
no point because look, I come up with ideas and you dismiss them straight away. So I'm not wasting my time making stuff.
Right.
If you don't like
well, okay,
it.
let's play Educating Ricky.
Right.
Brilliant. Go. Right.
So-
Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling.
Educating Ricky.
Right. What we going for then? Hanging the bacon, airy Chinese kid, Alien Gives Man a Beard.
I think Alien gives man a beard.
I'd like to do that.
Right. There's this fellow. I think it happened in America. And he saw a bright light in the sky. And
Carl, if you're bored.
and he stood there.
This is a true story, is it?
Yeah. He stood there
Yes, of course it isn't, Steve.
and he saw this bright light and it came closer and closer and it was a UFO, right?
Yep.
And he looked at it and it disappeared, right? And he gets back in his car
He looks in the mirror.
and he looks in the mirror.
Yep.
He's only got a beard.
He has.
You sure it wasn't someone else who got in the car and he was still standing out there?
No, right?
What?
And it turned out
Yeah.
he got home and said to his wife or his girlfriend, it's a bit weird. So I just got out of the car to look at a bright light and I got back in the car and grew a beard and she said, never mind your beard, where have you been for 3 days? And what had happened is...
He passed out because he was pissed.
No. The UFO had taken him for 3 days.
Yeah.
But he'd only thought that he'd only looked at it and it went away.
Yeah.
But what had happened is he
yeah.
took him and
Yeah.
he grew a beard because he hasn't had a shave.
Right, okay. I mean, was Will Smith or Tommy Lee Jones anything to do with this at all? Did you see this on a video maybe and thought it was an educational film?
No, it's from a book that some kind person sent in to me. Here.
Can I just ask again? Just again. I'm just throwing this right back at you. Do you think there's any other possible answer here? Right, a man is absent for 3 days from home.
He's
the
grown a
length
beard.
of time that it could take to grow a beard, lest we forget. What if he hadn't actually seen a bright light in the sky?
What if he
he'd
was
been
lying? What if he
drunk?
was lying?
He'd got knocked unconscious. He'd had a car crash.
Just
any number
lying.
of other
No,
things.
just lying.
Or he was just lying.
Yeah, he'd been on a bender, getting pissed for 3
Yeah,
days
and that
with
was
his
his
mates.
excuse to his wife.
And they went, what are you gonna, Dennis, what are you gonna tell your wife?
Well, wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
She's not going to believe I was out with you lads.
Just say you're only away for a minute. No, I wasn't away from it because of the beard. Oh yeah, look, it looks like you've been out for 3 days. Well, we have. That's
Exactly.
right. Okay, we've got to cover that then. Alien abduction.
Great one.
Okay, let's try that.
Do you see? That's a little scenario there that could have been played out.
So when you say educating Ricky, what have I learnt from this? Never listen to you again. That's all I've learnt so far. Never listen to you.
Yeah, we'll add a little bit more in here, right? To
Well,
spice this
no.
up.
What do you mean? Add a little bit more.
We'll add a bit more to this. What I'm educating you about,
Go on.
right? There's only a law in America that says if you touch a UFO, you're going to get done. Now, why would they make a rule? I don't know that. Do you know, like all their rules have a code?
Carl, I genuinely do not know what you're talking about.
Right. Do you know, like how here they might have?
Do you know
I
what?
have no idea.
Right,
Okay.
Do you know, like over here?
I'm listening to Capital on these headphones. I got Foxy on from yesterday.
Right, let's bin that.
No, wait, it's great. No,
I want to hear about Airy Chinese Kid.
let's play a tune. And
Okay,
let's come
play a
back
tune.
with
Come back with
Airy
Chinese
Kid.
Kid,
Play
definitely.
some doors.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just thought I'd go
Oh.
back, take it back to the 60s. This is a tune that a friend of mine sent
If
me.
you touch a UFO, you get done.
Soul Kitchen from the Doors.
Shambles today. This.
Definitely love this, surely. Have you started seeing this now? Virgin are starting plugging Virgin Galactic. I think it's something like 200,000 quid, and you'll get a chance to go in a space shuttle into space.
Karl, thoughts?
But that's what I'm saying. When you go on holiday, the flight bit isn't the best bit of the holiday, is it? That's the bit you've got to do. So what I'm saying is you've got to stay on this and then you go back home. So you don't take luggage, right? I don't see the point.
Right, so you're there, you're sat in your own clothes for the whole time, same clothes the whole time.
But I don't understand what is the point.
I think it's the view. I think it's two things. I think it's the view and being able to be part of an exclusive club. I went into space. It's all that thing about man conquering nature, and you're one of that elite few that have managed to pop up, see the world from a distance that no one else can see it from, and then pop down.
All that way just for the view.
Yeah.
Is it worth it? I mean, there's a lot of other places I haven't seen anyway. Right, before I think about that, I think if you've done everywhere, I haven't been to Scotland yet. Right?
Right, yeah.
I'm not being funny, but do you know what I mean? So just have a look in your back garden before you go looking in someone else's.
In space.
Yeah.
Yeah. What would make it a trip worthwhile for you? I mean, if you did go into space, if we gave it to you free of charge, we said, Karl, go up into
I know
space.
the answer. I know the answer to this, Steve. He's thinking, I'd like to meet some aliens that can talk like I do, and I can understand them, and they can tell me something. Like what? Oh, they met God, he was all right. That's the sort of thing, that's what he's going to say. He'd like them to look like monkeys in spacesuits.
Yeah.
That would be his ideal thing. He'd like to go to the planet of the
Yeah, I was
apes.
gonna say, yeah.
He
I was
would
gonna-
love
they
to
could
go
arrange
to
that.
Look, he's nodding. He's nodding. Thoughts, Karl?
Well, yeah, that'd be brilliant.
What would be brilliant?
Seeing a little alien and that, having a chat with him, finding out what's been going on.
What's been going on?
No. But don't you think that, like, I mean, if you bought me that as a present, right,
Yeah.
either of you,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be that happy. For me, that's a little bit like...
Well, that's annoying because we've got you a trip
We
to
just
space
pulled
and a
together.
goat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know how, like, I am interested in sort of going on another planet, right? Not,
Karl, you are on another planet, mate.
no, but do you know what I mean? It would be quite sort of interesting.
How do you think you'd get there?
Well, yeah, you'd go on a rocket and stuff, but what I'm saying is, at least you know when you get there, you're getting out, you're having a bit of a wander. But I wouldn't be happy in just the journey bit of it. That's what I'm saying.
That's great, isn't it?
But the thing is, right? I was looking into it a bit because I was reading about the Virgin Atlantic
Yeah.
thing, right? And I was reading something that in 1971, right? 3 of them went up there. There was one bloke in the rocket, right? The other 2 wandered off, had a walkabout, seeing what rocks they can find. And that bloke who was in the rocket, right? He was the loneliest man ever in the world.
I don't know what to do. What that was. I don't know what to do. I don't know if that's some sort of profound poetry or I don't. Do you know what I think he's trying to say? He's trying to say he was, by definition, a human furthest away from all other human contact.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I said.
Yeah, okay. Now, you said loneliest. Loneliest evokes an emotion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like he started crying and writing poetry and listening to Morrissey records.
But what I was thinking is, do you think when he got up in the morning, he still bothered to put his clothes on?
That's the first thing that came into your mind
No,
when
just
you
because
pictured him
I
in
always,
there.
at the end of the day, even if, like, my girlfriend Suzanne's out at work and that, I'm not happy walking about with everything out because you never know what's going to happen. I just mean, you never know if someone's going to turn up.
No, I don't like what I don't like. No, I always pop some pants on or a towel, even if I'm
not
alone.
always. Because I've knocked on your door when you've been stood there with.
No, he's
Yeah,
taking
but
his trousers off.
I
when
did
he
it
comes to the door.
especially
Oh,
knowing
right.
that you were there. I've done it especially to annoy you.
right.
Yeah. So.
But do you know what I mean? Do you think he was walking about the rocket with his tackle out, or
Or
did he
floating
go,
about, yeah.
well, no one's watching here?
Do you reckon it floats up or down?
Well, if you are the man who was up in a space rocket and was for a short period the loneliest man in the world, we'd love to hear from you. We'd love to hear what you did with your time, how lonely you felt, and also
Lonely?
did you float around with your cock and balls out?
Let's accept, right, that at some point, about 13, 14 billion years ago, there was nothing. There was no space for the nothing to be in. There was no darkness, no light, nothing. Okay, literally nothing, except what is nearly a point in space that contained everything in the known universe, okay? Suddenly, that exploded, and in a matter of minutes, the universe was pretty much as it is now. And in all the debris, in all the dust, things started to cling together. One of which was
the Earth.
Can I have Karl pick up the story from there?
Yeah. So, there we are. We've got the Earth. We've got this big
What happened next?
planet.
Probably nothing for quite a bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just sort of floated about.
Yeah.
But it wasn't causing a problem because it wasn't annoying anyone.
No.
You see, we don't get a chance of that these days.
No.
You pop something down, someone says, move that. Dangerous, what is it?
Yeah.
Back then, nothing. So it's hanging around, and if you leave something somewhere, something will sit on it.
Right.
Okay, if you leave something somewhere, something will sit on it. Yeah.
We'll say like a bin bag. I can put a bin bag outside. Bin men don't come until Friday.
Sure.
But I don't want it in the house. It's got chicken in it.
Yep.
I pop it outside, right? It's sat there for a few days now. Just time, like, you know, a day before the bin men are coming.
Yeah.
I pick that up and take it round the front.
Right.
It's got a slug living under it,
Right.
like one of those little wood lice things.
Yeah.
Might be there.
Yeah.
Snail.
Yep.
What's your point?
My
We've
point-
got a young Earth. It's 4.5 billion years ago. It's whizzing round the sun.
Something's going to sit on it.
Yeah, something had to sort of happen, didn't it? I tell you what it's like.
Go on.
In the same way, penicillin
Go on.
happened.
Go on.
It was the bread was sat there. It goes off. Air would have created the greenness.
Oh God! This sounds like the Bible. That is like the Bible. Air created the greenness. That's amazing.
Carry on, because I want to. I'm learning here. I'm learning.
And once you've got something, that leads to otherness.
Oh, this is like a monk that sat down. Oh,
We're all
that's
sat cross-legged
amazing.
listening to the wise old man.
I know. What are you gonna do? I'm gonna write a thing of how everything was created.
But hang on, carry on, because
Really?
I'm interested.
Yeah.
So where
What-
are we?
so-
So we had greenness, and now we've got
So
something.
the air created the greenness, and then what is it?
Then we have what was
Just
it?
otherness from the
otherness.
greenness. Because once you've got
from greenness comes otherness.
once you've got one thing, others come.
Yes.
The air created the greenness, then you got otherness. If you create something, others will come.
Build it and they will
But
come.
it's sort of right.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying I agree. No, so, but tell me, take me on. Continue this story, because this is fascinating. So, where are we now then? What if I was to stand on the Earth at this moment in time? What would I see?
Not that much. You wouldn't want to stay.
But there's greenness.
Little patches
Little
of greenness.
patches of greenness. Okay.
Little bit of rubble knocking around.
Bit of rubble. There was a bit of rubble. Okay.
We've still got a long way to go. We want to get to life, don't we?
Okay, let's skip forward then, Karl, to life.
So everything was right, okay? It was the right distance from the sun, okay?
Yeah, but even if it
had-
wasn't,
wait,
we would still been created.
No, we wouldn't.
We would.
have.
Something
no, we
would have
wouldn't
done.
No, we wouldn't have.
I want to hear Karl's opinion on this, Rick. I'm not interested in facts. I want to hear Karl's
So,
opinion.
are you saying, if the atmosphere, right, around the Earth wasn't about 99% nitrogen and oxygen with 1% other gases, we'd have still had something else?
Something would have been around.
What would
I'm
it
not
have been?
saying it might be better than us. It might be worse than us.
What would it look like?
Well, it's hard to say, because they say, don't they, that it's the conditions that mould you into the shape and colour.
Sure.
And you know, everything else that makes you the person that you are.
Okay, let's take Pluto. We know that's the farthest away. So it is dark and cold there.
Right.
How do you imagine the creatures that will develop there will
Big
look
eyes
like?
and airy.
But how did they evolve? How did they evolve, though?
Because we
they
evolved.
can't just-
Hang on. You always say animals change to suit the conditions.
I'd have thought, if one of the most ridiculous conversations we've ever had.
He's seriously
Because
considering whether we
everything
live
is based
inside or
on
outside.
a ridiculously false premise.
No,
Karl,
we're
listen.
saying now
Right.
that the world's overcrowded.
Right,
There's too many people on it.
right.
We're running out of houses. People are living in basements. Now that's only one step away from being molish. We're already going underground because we're running out of space.
Being Polish.
Okay,
Yeah.
right. Go on. Let him. I want to hear his point.
Is
Here
that
we
like
are.
being Amish?
So
Go
what
see
you're
the
saying?
Polish people, they don't acknowledge the crust of the earth.
So you're saying within 5 years there's going to be sort of mole-like people living in basement flats with no eyes?
But hold on though, according to you, the lower they go, the colder and darker they go, the hairier and better eyes they'll have.
Well, it depends. No, I was only saying they'd have better eyes if they were on a dark planet where they're outside, so they still have to look out for things that they could trip over. If we're going underground,
That's their sole concern. That's the whole evolution. Is about what we don't want to trip over. I don't want to graze my knees.
You've got knees. They got them on Earth. Coincidence, isn't it? Hub.
what I'm saying is, right, and I've always said this,
Go on.
we are not the same as the first man that nature made.
No, we're not. No.
And that's where we went wrong. And if we didn't interfere, we might have been more suited to the conditions now. Auntie Nora, I'm cold. She doesn't want double glazing.
Why not?
Just because she's worried that when people come round and sort of knock on the door, she won't hear them because it's all sort of double glazed.
But they're knocking on the door.
No, but she said that, she didn't like a bell. It makes her jump too much.
Well, how do they get in now?
Well, it's a thin door and thin glass. You hear it. It's not like soundproof like double glazing is.
What? So they have to knock.
They knock like that on the door, and she can hear that because
But
it's
why
like
are
a
they going
wooden
to double
door.
glaze the door? Is it a glass door?
No, they want to put that PVC door in with
Hang
the
on,
thicker
so
glass.
she's scared by... You don't want a doorbell because that alarms her, but the knocking is fine.
The knocking's fine because you get to know knocks.
Why don't they have a bell that when you press it, it makes that noise?
Because they haven't done that yet.
Well,
Maybe that's an idea.
You could do a sample of a like that. So when they press the doorbell, she hears. That's easy. That's done. You could sort that out for her.
Well, I don't want to start getting dragged into it because...
But why don't you tell her, say, Auntie Nora, have double glazing, be warm, be safe. Hear the knock of the bell on the doubly door.
This is it, though, isn't it? She wouldn't be around now if it wasn't for people interfering, coming up with tablets, making weak people live longer.
Right. So you're annoyed at that. You're
I
annoyed.
know, he's such a fascist, isn't he? Auntie Nora, a weak person who has been allowed to live.
No, but
Eugenics is where you'd be happier.
Do you recycle and not leave the tap running and turn off lights because you're worried about a child born in 100 years' time?
No. No, because I don't think... at the end of the day, we have to face facts here.
Go on.
The world is old.
Hold on. Right, okay.
The world's old.
Really old.
And it's the same as if you've got a gran who's 70...
Yeah.
There's not much you can do for her. You can say you're warm, but at the end of the day, she's still going to be shitting her pants. She's still going to be, forgetting things and all the rest of it. And you might be taking care of her, but at the end of the day, the good days are gone.
Right.
Yeah.
So, in a way, like the world, it's got to a point that it's old. And we can say turn the tap off, turn the lights off, close the windows, stop letting heat out.
The earth, metaphorically, is shitting its pants.
You've only got to look at what's happening, right? It's freezing, isn't it, at the moment out there?
Yeah.
Ice everywhere, snow everywhere. Now, an old person, what happens to them? They're always cold. It's like the earth, isn't it?
Brilliant.
The earth now is freezing.
Yeah.
It feels the cold
It's
more than
winter
ever.
as well. It's also because it's winter, but yeah.
And I think if you try and make it better now, you end up doing more damage.
Does that make any
Doesn't
sense at all?
make any sense.
Doesn't make
Doesn't make
sense at all.
Well, just you can sometimes it's too late to make something better. Like I've had old relations who smoke like 50 a day. Doctor said you've got to stop smoking. They stopped smoking. 2 weeks later, they're dead. Shouldn't have stopped them smoking.
Yeah,
Their insides.
Good advice.
Well, their insides are used to all that pollution.
Yeah.
Take the pollution away. What will the world do?
Good. That is a good point.
Interesting. This is scientifically grounded, is it? You've done a lot of the research, read a lot of the information about this. Or is it just a wild harebrained speculation, again, backed up with nothing? Is it bullshit?
How would you honestly sell these places to me? We're coming in your travel agents. Karl Pilkington's travel. He's been round the world. He's seen all the sights. So we're going there. Hello. We're thinking of going on holiday. Me and my husband, Stephen.
Well, what are you thinking?
China.
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 Well, I won't bother with that. Where have you been in the past?
Well, we've been to Wales and we don't really understand the language.
What they're saying?
Don't know what they're saying at all.
Oh, forget China then.
Oh.
They're worse than the Welsh with their language.
It's mental. There's no order to it whatsoever. It's mental language. It's like aliens. So you don't want to go there. Have you thought of anywhere else?
Hang on, you're supposed to be selling us a holiday to China.
No, I'm not selling you. I've just got to sell you a holiday. So I'd say you don't want to go there.
Okay.
How old are you?
Oh, well, I'm 72.
Right, well, you don't
23.
Oh, to be quite honest, I thought it'd be a bit more virile. Even though he's 23, his penis is actually 102. Why did he have that put on? Why did he have it put on?
Is this any use? I don't know what this is.
Oh, this is a break. Oh, I'm sweating.
Well, now time for one of our regular features, Monkey News.
Do the jingle.
Oh, chimpanzee that monkey news.
What we're doing here is just giving you a bit of monkey news that's gone on, right? Where a monkey's been involved in it. Good little story in that.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with the one that went into space? The first sort of thing they ever sent up there before man did it and all that. You see, this is what annoys me with it really. Armstrong gets all the glory, but do you know who went up there before him?
A monkey.
Yeah. And what happened is they taught it what buttons to hit at the time it needed to hit them, and the way they did this was like give it bananas. It was like hit the red button, and it hit the red button, they'd give it a banana.
Right.
And they go, right, reverse is the green one, hit the green one. And then they do that and go, there's a banana. And then they go, right, hit reverse, and it go and get a banana.
Right.
Hit the red, so it was taking commands on like headphones.
Right, but how were they
Is
giving
that
it the
how
banana?
you learn to do radio?
How were they giving it the banana?
What do you mean? No,
Well-
this is before it went. You wouldn't
right.
just go and put a monkey in it and go, there you go, get on with it. They'd sort of put him in one of them capsules that you get,
Yeah.
and they were on headphones.
I don't believe this happened.
Well, I'm telling you the story now. So the monkey
I don't
sat...
think they trained it to do anything. I think they sent it up there and he put electrodes coming out of it to see what
it wasn't
is.
any of that. They did a thing like they do, like they can with animals. If you give something, like a treat, you can teach it how to do it. It's just like a dog, isn't it?
It's called Pavlovian conditioning. However, that was to see if it would salivate or go over to a particular corner, not if it could control a spacecraft.
Next one up. It's the next one up. As far as the monkey's not sat there going, oh, I'm a bit under pressure here, it's a rocket. All that's knowing is, I'm getting a banana if I hit that button. That's all the monkey's thinking about.
They wouldn't put billions of
whatever.
space
But how
dollars.
can they be sure that it's going to press the button at the right moment?
Because it's got headphones on. It's not like willy-nilly. It's not just like pop it in there and
Willy-nilly,
see.
who's that?
But what's to stop it from just hitting it any old time? Because it's a monkey and it's not a human.
Because he's trained now. But
Oh, it's
anyway,
trained.
so
It's
listen.
fully trained. Yeah, go
So
on.
what happened is, anyway,
Oh, this is absolute rubbish.
they pop the monkey in there.
Yeah.
He's got his headphones on. They're going, right, hit the green one. And I think there's something there that a little banana comes out to keep the same.
No, you're making this up.
I'm not. It's the same.
There's no way that they made a
Right, so
spacecraft
they can-
that had a banana dispenser.
Right,
There's
so-
no way in this world that they made a spacecraft that could go into outer space, right?
So what- so
manned
you're- so
by a
you're-
monkey with a banana dispenser.
So you're saying that it's easy to send something up to space, but you don't believe there's a little banana machine?
Right, okay,
So it comes to the launch day. Monkeys sat in there. Everyone's ready. Bananas are stocked up and all the rest of it. They go, right, hit the green button. Right, and the rocket goes off and what have you.
No, they would not make the monkey launch the rocket. Carl, you are living in a cartoon world.
So the rocket goes off, right?
This is absolute bollocks.
It's all going well.
I mean, I don't know what you're going to... It's not going well.
It's going
There's
well.
no way a monkey launched
It's
a
going-
rocket. There is no way a monkey launched a rocket, you
So
idiot.
it's all going on. So they go and hit the left button and it goes a little bit left.
Left button.
Right, so-
well-known spacecraft.
Yeah.
No, the moon.
So
You're going right.
It goes for the moon. Everything's going well.
Right.
They get up there. It does whatever it does. Hit reverse. It comes back. Right. So then
You are, honestly, you are brain dead.
So it's
you are
long-
one of the most stupid people. That I would rather have the monkey drive me
listen.
home than you.
So the thing is, so it lands back.
Yeah.
It does a good job and everything. It gets out. And this
It's sick of bananas.
This is where it turns a bit sad, because after it's done that mission, right? Because it happened and it was all safe and everything. The next one would have been to send man.
Right.
So the monkey enjoyed it, and it was like, well, I want to do it again, right? But they were like...
So how did they know that? How did they know he wanted to...
Just the way it looked and what have you. It was like...
Fuck off! Just the way it looked! You are a maniac.
So the thing is, though, right, so after it had done that, it was on such a high, right,
Yeah.
it could never get that high again.
There was
nothing that it could do.
Went on tour, did it?
It sort of ended up killing itself. Because it could never get that buzz that it got.
Right, that was absolute bollocks. None of that is true, except they sent a monkey into space, and I'll check that. Absolute drivel.
So, in your mind, it committed suicide. It went on a crazy bender, drinking drugs and women, and
like
then
it does happen. You hear about it.
was found in a motel room.
So, Karl, if you had to go to a new planet, don't worry about starting life again. They've got sort of like these breeder clones that do all that, but you can choose 6 people from this world to take to start this whole new world, okay? So you need, you know, as I say, you don't need to
So
worry
what's
about...
happening here? Is this...
It's going to be wiped out, okay? It's going to be wiped out, but there's enough on this spaceship for you and 5 other people. Okay, and they've got them there. They've got these sort of breeder clones there, so it's going to be populated. You're going to have the workers, the drones, everything like that. But you want to take 6, I suppose, sort of world lords to teach, to lay down the politics, the teachings, the laws, the government.
I'd hate it. And how long have I got to make a decision on it?
To the end of this podcast. Right, go. Who do you take? Who's the first person you take, and why?
And where are we going? Mars.
Okay, so a planet where there's an atmosphere.
I've got to know where I'm going because I've got to sell it to the people who I'm asking. There's no point when I go, are you coming with me? Where are you going? I don't know.
It's just like this world. There's oxygen, there's seas, there's rivers, there's forests, there's animals, okay? But we're going to populate it with the human race, and you can choose 6 people to lord over this new kingdom.
You want the best people for the job.
Yeah, so... Who's the first person?
Probably Patrick Moore.
Why? Why would you take Patrick Moore?
Just because he knows his way about up there, doesn't he? He'll know the way. So just have him. I think that will... Whoever I pick next, if they see that he's going, they'll go, right, you know, it's going to be a long
Moore's
journey as
on
it
board.
is. You don't want someone who's going to be going, is it left here? Is it right? Do you know what I mean?
And he could play the xylophone on the journey.
But Karl
Right.
is more the most useful person to have if you've only got 6, because he may be very useful getting to the planet.
No, but I've
once
always
you got
wanted
there,
to meet him as well. I've always wanted a chat, and that'd be a good chance, wouldn't it, when I'm in a rocket? How long's it taking to get to Mars?
I don't know, a year.
That's what I mean.
No, it's
so,
not Mars, it's somewhere else. Okay, so it's a year to get there, and then...
yeah, well, that's what I mean. So it's a good chance to have a chat with him
Okay.
about stuff.
So Matt
And I
Moore-
think he'd be up for it as well, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think you know. it's
Why
his-
do you think that?
Just because he's spent his whole life talking about what's going on up there, isn't it? And yet he's never been. And I feel sorry for him. You know, most people when they're into something, they get to go to a place, don't they?
Sure.
People who don't know who Patrick Moore is, he's an 80-year-old astronomer.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So let him have a bit of a good life.
So Moore's on board.
Yeah, Patrick Moore. He's on. Right, out 5 others.
4 others now.
Jamie Oliver.
Why would you take Jamie Oliver?
Just food and that. You need someone, because they say that like you can feel down if you don't eat.
He couldn't convince 8-year-olds to eat a carrot. What's he going to do in this brave new world? They're all going to be on turkey Twizzlers.
I think he's got the right attitude. He wouldn't be faffing about. Remember, we've landed now on this new world.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's like. The people who've
Listen,
made me
I
go,
love Jamie Oliver. I think he's great.
Yeah.
But he wouldn't be in my 5 people to start a new world. That's all I'm saying. Nor would Patrick Moore, because he knew the way.
Well, what chef would you pick?
I wouldn't pick a chef. Why would I pick a chef?
Because you want someone who's going to, like I say, food's important. When you're low, there's nothing better. If you're a bit fed up, there's nothing better than having a good...
But Karl, I don't think you've quite grasped that these people have to start civilization again. They have to be wise people who can make the laws.
Yeah. And before you do all that, you need a good meal. So Jamie Oliver, that's his job. It's like when we get there, that's when he kicks in.
Right.
He's the first one, really,
Can I
who
suggest
gets
something?
going.
Just to save 2 places on Patrick Moore and Jamie Oliver, take a map and a cookbook. Okay, who's number 3?
What sort of state is this world in? Does it need...
Oh, he's going to take a fucking gardener. It's like it's
the world, but new.
it's that exactly. It's the world but new, untouched by humans. There've been no fossil fuels burnt, no machinery, no wars, just this Garden of Eden. And you, Patrick Moore and Jamie Oliver pitch up.
Plus, who else, Carl? Go now. First thought.
Attenborough.
Again, he's a genius, and he's a bit of a hero of mine. But I don't know if we need Attenborough.
Just because I reckon if it's a new world, you're saying it's the same, but they always say, don't they, that all worlds are different. So I'd want him there, just to sort of, when we're roaming around, because we'll all stick together for a bit, won't we? When we're roaming around.
Then they'll be sick of the sight of you. They go, let's lose Karl.
But you've got 2 men so far who've got a combined age of about 150. I mean, if you're starting a brave new world, dare I say it, not going to be around very long. Shouldn't you be taking some younger, fresher blood?
No, not really, because they haven't lived, have they? These have lived, and they can and they're useful. Like I say, Patrick Moore's done his bit. He's got us there. Oliver's cooked us a dinner. Day 2, I reckon we'd end that on day 1 there. We'd have a dinner, we'd all have a chat.
I don't think you're thinking of the future.
It's a camping trip.
Exactly, I think you're thinking of the journey, and then the first night. Okay. So you've got David Attenborough, you've got Patrick Moore, and you've got Jamie Oliver, you've got 2 other places.
I get the feeling that you're not so much recruiting people for a new world as I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here.
As a dinner party with people you'd like to meet that you've seen on the telly. Oh. Come on, 2 more.
I'd text someone who's a bit daft. Just so.
No, you don't need to, Karl.
That's covered, believe us.
Yeah,
no, that's what I mean, though. I don't want them having to go at me going, why are you here? I'd point the attention somewhere else. To text someone else who'd sort of wind them up. So
who's that then?
Paul Denham, or someone like that.
It really is. I'm a celebrity. So you've got Patrick Moore, you've got David Attenborough, you've got Jamie Oliver and Paul Denham.
They're starting life again.
Okay then, brilliant. Oh God. Right, one more. This is amazing. It's going to be. I'd love to go back and visit this in 1,000 years. What teachings they laid down. Oh God.
Don't know. It'd have to be a woman. I think you got to have a woman in that little group, haven't you? Could have another woman chef, or
it's mainly eating.
He's got that covered with Oliver, but now he's got to take Nigella in case he's in a cream cake kind of mood.
Oh God! Delia Smith was furious. She'd packed her bags and everything.
Or a nurse.
Now you're thinking.
Abby Titmus.
Weekend, I went, what are you doing? He went, oh, just in Regent's Park and that. I went, what are you doing? He said, just going for... He went, oh, Jesus. I went, what? He went, a caterpillar just fell out of the sky. I went, what? He went, a caterpillar just fell out of the sky. God, it's there, it's wriggling around. I went, sure a bird didn't just drop it? He looked at it and went, oh yeah. There's a bird.
Of course he did. Hey, you sure there wasn't a bird? Oh, there was a bird. Yeah, sorry, Trev. Bye.
But it was after, like, I hung up the phone and that from you. I sort of sat there for a bit watching it.
I imagine him cross-legged, just in front of it.
But do you know what? Because of his shape, the shape of his head, and his sort of IQ, I bet the caterpillar was thinking, Mama.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. Go on.
It was sort of running about all over the place, right, Steve? So the caterpillars have loads of feet and that, don't they?
Wow! Well, they have 6 legs. They're actually larvae of insects. They have 6 legs, but they have little sucker things to hold on to the cabbages and that.
No, they've got more than that.
They've got. I'll tell you, they've got 6 true legs. Trust me. Trust me, I'm a scientist.
And you were thinking what, Carl?
Well,
but they've got little pods. They've got little pseudo pod legs and little suckers. Yeah.
But it was running about like everywhere, like mental. But sort of running off to the left, and then it sort of went back to where it was. Then back, went right and what have you. And I'm just thinking, whoever gave them the legs, right? What's the point if they don't know where they're going and that? Do you know what I mean? If you can get
Imagine that sentence. Did you hear that sentence? Can we play that sentence back?
No, I don't think we can.
Imagine who gave him that legs.
Whoever gave him them legs, what's the point if they don't know where they're going and that?
And that. Always and that.
And that, but maybe you just, to be fair to the caterpillar, with all its legs, okay, and you know where it's going, it had just been plucked from its house by a bird, shot up into the sky, and then dropped from 80 feet, hitting the ground.
Onto the head of a weird, bold-shaved monkey.
It was probably concussed.
Yeah. It's one of them things again, though.
But it still knew more about the world than you.
And this is part of educating Ricky in a way, but something I learned last night was that tarantulas only bite you if you annoy it.
Right.
They don't, do you know how people say, oh, if you're in a sleeping bag living in a jungle, a spider will get in there and it'll bite you?
Yeah,
apparently not. You've got to really annoy it. The thing that it really hates is having its leg sort of twisted.
It hates having its leg twisted. Right.
Yeah, but that's more for...
Is that what they said in a documentary?
No,
actually said
almost certainly not, Steve. Almost certainly
Were you watching
not.
a documentary?
No, I was reading it.
Oh, you're reading it.
And, it was this guy...
Was it scrawled on the wall in like a public toilet?
No, I'll tell you. I'll tell you more about that later.
Oh,
it's
right,
part of the,
Educating Ricky.
So, if you don't trust the evil wasp, what animal do you trust? What's your favourite?
Well, I also, I said to him, right, supposing your mind, right, your mind got put into any animal, right, and you've got to get from where you are now, right, to Glasgow, right, as an animal, right, but the authorities will be looking out for it.
Okay.
And it's shooting you, right, and, you went through loads, didn't you?
I was thinking about it it must have took me about an hour.
So your mind has been put into an animal.
And then, so it's you in this animal thinking you've got to get to somewhere.
But the authorities know you're in the animal?
Yeah, maybe your body is in Glasgow somewhere, and you've got to get this animal to get to you so it can transfer its mind back into your body.
But the government knows that I'm...
Oh, we've all had that conversation.
So the government's going, Karl can't have his own brain back.
I only have it with Karl, don't I, these conversations. Go on, yeah.
So you're on the way.
So think about it. You think about it just for a second. So, let's recap. Your body's in Scotland.
Right.
He's the only one that takes my question seriously.
Your brain is in London. Right? And there's like loads of security and stuff looking out in the sky for animals or looking on the field, seeing what's looking a bit suspicious. Trying to get to your body.
And they're shooting them.
Brain, and they're shooting everything and killing all the animals. What thing would you pick to get your brain to Scotland that wouldn't get caught? And I reckon I've got the answer.
A wasp?
No, because think about it, a lot of people get irritated if it sort of wanted to get a lift in a car going down the motorway. If someone's driving it's a wasp in the car, it's a nightmare.
Yeah, sure.
Cause a right accident.
Yeah.
So think of something that people wouldn't,
And the clock's ticking as well.
You're taking this really very seriously,
yeah,
haven't you, Karl?
you've only got a couple of...
You've given this a lot of thought, haven't you? You have.
Yeah.
So, something with speed.
Yeah, it's
something
got
that can travel quite speedily.
Well, that's... Yeah.
Well,
and something that's also inconspicuous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that the sort of thing that's what you're going to
Yeah.
do? And is it a creature that's native to this country?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it is.
I've got no idea, Karl. What are you thinking?
Tell him.
A flea.
A flea?
Tell him why.
Think about it. Right, this flea, it's got my brain. It's dead small, the flea.
Thanks for clearing that up.
Yeah.
And so it goes, right, I've got to get to Scotland. So it jumps on someone who's going to Euston Station.
Right.
They don't know it's there.
No.
The government can't see it.
Can't see it, Steve! Think of that statement! Think if you just tuned in.
Yeah.
Now...
People get on the train, goes to Glasgow or Edinburgh, wherever in Scotland it is. It jumps off, it goes right, jumps on someone else who's going the way it needs to go, gets there, still no one's seen it, jumps on me, I get my brain back.
Yeah.
The government are like, phew.
And you feel confident that your brain would fit in that of a flea's?
Well, you said there was no problem with the size of it. You said you could...
There certainly wouldn't be.
So,
No.
I pretty much you could download everything you know into a flea.
So that's genius.
Yeah.
That's
What would you rather have, right? Roller skate feet, and there's little wheels, right? Chopstick hands. Yeah? Instead of hands, chopsticks instead of hands, wheels instead of feet,
yeah.
right? Or acne.
How big are the wheels?
Right, listen. Right, so they're making this documentary. Right? And stumble across a little gang of,
Come on, just
Get on with it, please.
little gang of monkeys. That's
Yes.
the first time I've ever laughed, I'll hear that.
I know. Well, brilliant. What do you want? A cake? Come on.
Can we play a song?
Oh, I don't understand what is wrong with you, you freak.
It's making me laugh.
Just tell us the story.
Alright then, alright. So anyway, right, so there's this documentary being made. They found a little gang of monkeys.
Right, play a song. I don't know what's going on here. I apologise.
got to hide your love away. According to the Beatles on XFM 104.9, I'm Ricky Gervais with me, Steve Merchant. Right, Carl, come on,
where
monkey
were we?
news.
Where
Everyone's
were we?
composed. The jingle, please.
Oh, chimpanzee that monkey news.
Excellent. Okay.
Right, where were we?
We would just start again. There's some people making a documentary.
For what? Okay, for
Making a documentary in the jungle and that.
Right.
Stumble across a little gang.
Okay, come on.
Alright.
A little gang of monkeys.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
So the camera crew are there filming it.
Yes.
Everything's going normal.
It's all fine,
Nothing odd about it.
Okay. They're not running a restaurant, they've not got any barber shops, nothing.
No.
Just regular monkeys going about their business, yeah.
So anyway, what normally happens is the monkeys stick with the partner.
What did you want?
They don't sort of sleep around and that. Once they find the girlfriend or the boyfriend or whatever,
Yeah.
they stick with them, right?
Okay.
But anyway, they were watching this one, right? And it's going around a bit, sleeping around,
Oily.
and it was getting fatter. They thought this is a bit odd,
Yeah.
right? So followed it round and see it having it away. Turns out, little prostitute.
Oh, God!
It's a little monkey prostitute.
It was getting fatter because it was charging them bananas.
What a load of old rubbish.
It's charging them bananas! What was it, a boy or... It was a...
Woman. Little woman monkey.
That's the most extraordinary monkey news I've ever heard.
Oh! That is genius!
Has this documentary been televised?
I don't think it's been on yet.
No.
And that's all the information you've got?
Yeah.
And is that's one banana for everything?
The half a banana is for...
Just oral.
A poor job.
Right.
If you want full-blown, monkey sex, it is 2.5 bananas.
Sure. Sure.
So,
Let's just play a song.
anyone can put things onto the internet. It's the, you know, it's freaks and things that put on things
one, right?
like...
Here's one that I read in the week, right?
Go on.
About this woman.
Yeah.
She was a bit of a punk. And, to get her hair done like she wanted, But anyway, she comes into money or whatever, treats herself to a microwave. Right?
It's not true.
Opens the door, jams the things, you know, like the little catch. So the microwave works. She jams it with a screwdriver or a knife or something.
Yeah.
Puts the microwave on, sticks her head in, boils her brain.
Don't be ridiculous.
Right? Well, why is that ridiculous?
Boils her brain.
She boiled her brain.
She boiled her brain.
And this is what's good about the internet. I went straight from that, and there was a subject about brains. And do you know that Russell Crowe, when he dies, is giving his brain to charity or something, some sort of some people who can do stuff with it.
She gave hers to Pot Noodle.
Vesta.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's the
boiling
sort of
a
stuff.
skull.
Yeah.
That's not true. No.
It's not true, Carl. Just urban myths. Someone made it up
Yeah.
for a laugh.
They're just too convenient, urban myths. Everyone's, you can tell an urban myth's not true again, because it's always, this happened to a mate of mine, and when you say what happened then, they go, don't know, that was it. Was it? Was that it? Was it? Someone boiled a brain and that was it. There was no more story.
Well,
were
there any dates, locations, times?
I think it was in Belgium.
There's that There's that one that a bloke, right, was gonna get a phone call at 4 o'clock to find out if his business was, you know, okay, right? And if he didn't get the phone call, he knew he was, broke, destitute. So, then on 4 o'clock, the phone didn't ring, so he went up to the roof, his office, and he jumped off to commit suicide. And as he was passing his window, the phone was ringing.
Oh, no.
Karl, it didn't happen.
Didn't happen.
Think it through.
Think it through. Who told that story? Who told that story? As he hit the pavement at 120 miles an hour.
He's the only person who could have known that series of incidents.
Also, why didn't he wait?
dead.
As his life's at stake, why didn't he wait till 5 past? I said, I'm gonna give it 5 minutes just in
Just
case.
in case the lines are busy.
Yeah. And what sort of bloke goes, I'll call you at 4, okay, if your business, well, call me anyway. No. If I don't call exactly 4, then, no, you commit suicide. Commit suicide. I would, because if I don't call at 4, that's the end of it. Well, call me anyway. No, that's not the way I work. Why can't you just call me and tell me the other way? Well, I'm telling you how I do it. If you're bust, I don't call. Can't you just call to verify in case something goes wrong? What if he's engaged? If you won't be engaged, just commit suicide at 4, please. It didn't happen, Karl.
Got back, right, Steve, and called up Ricky. I said, right, you know, are you about? Have a chat and that. So he said, oh, I'll just come round. It's a nice day. Have a drink and what have you. So I got round there at about 6:30, right? Go up to his door, knock on his door, right? He stood there with his tackle out.
Oh. Yeah, and what did you make of that? What was wrong with that?
What do you mean, what's wrong with that?
Why were you looking at it? Why were you looking at it?
I tried not to look at it. But again, you're always sort of attracted to it, aren't you? Kind of like...
I've never been attracted to another man's tackle. I don't know what you mean.
You can't help but have a little sly look. Well, especially when it's there. When you ring the bell, and I mean the one on the door, right? And that's hanging out.
And does he dress to the left or the right?
It was to the left, right?
Yeah, it was left, yeah. Just popped out of my shorts. For him. Just popped him out of the shorts.
Should have seen the state of him. Shorts on, no top, cigar. Looked like someone out of The Sopranos. It was a mess.
Yeah.
And then,
we sat on the balcony drinking wine, didn't we?
Did you pop it back in, or was it still...
Yeah, I popped it straight back in. I've got the laugh.
Sure.
I've got the laugh I wanted.
Yeah.
He walked in, he went, it's not that hot. Straight away. It's not that hot. Oh, brilliant.
And,
was that knob news, or was there more?
no, it's got more knob news.
That's just a taster.
Just a taster.
Listen, let's play some adverts, let's play some great music, and maybe we should have some early knob news.
Early knob news coming up.
I was on a... I don't know if this is alright to talk about. I mean, it happened, so, you know, not worried
It's
about
alright to talk about. Everything's alright to talk about.
But I was on the train, right, coming from Manchester back to London, right?
Yeah.
And, got on it was like a Friday night. And it was heaving, you know, like the last train is and all that. And, absolutely chocker. Right?
Yeah.
So I'm walking through the carriages, thinking, oh, is he in his seats anyway? Anyway, everyone's like, it's heaving, right? It's people stood up in the doorways, you can't get in the toilet and all that. There's not going to be any chair knocking about. You know, walking through, and anyway, I see this one empty chair sort of in front of me, right? I think, oh, why ain't anyone sat there, right? I'll just rush to that, get to that, I'll get myself a seat, plonk myself down, right? And, sort of turn round, you know, see who I'm facing, you know, see who you're sort of having a chat with. Little fella there, right? Little, well, Down syndrome kid.
Right.
Sat there. And, he goes, alright. And I thought, oh, right. Not bad, but do you know what I mean? They're always talking, aren't they? You ask a lot of questions. Right, so I was like, oh, here we go, 2.5 hours. And I couldn't get up because the thing is, that's obvious.
Sure.
Right? So that's like mean. I never want to be mean, do you know what I mean?
No.
At the end of the day. So anyway, so I think I know, I'll go to sleep.
Clever.
Right, so I shut my eyes, and he leaves me alone and that. So then, my phone goes, and I think, right, what do? Do I ignore it? or do I open my eyes and see what it is? Anyway, I open my eyes, it's Ricky calling about something. About nothing, probably, actually, thinking about it. Wasn't even worth answering, right? So anyway, but I'm awake now, aren't I? So he's like, hello? And I'm like, alright, mate. And he says, you're muscly.
Oh, God!
And I said, yeah. And he goes, why? So I said, no, just down. It's, again, stressing me out, because I'm thinking, why am I muscly? I don't go to the gym. I'm not muscly, I'm in good shape and that.
Well.
So then, he wants an arm wrestle. On a crammed train from Manchester, so I've got another hour and a half of this.
If you talked back, he'd soon have got up and left. If you'd have started asking him questions, he'd have got up and left with the drivel you come out with.
So anyway, do you know when you're under pressure, you're thinking, well, he's said that I'm muscly, right? So, do I do it or not? And there's people watching, not joining in, not sort of having a laugh and that with me, just like watching but pretending they're not.
Oh,
and I'm
God.
at one of those table seats, and he kept saying, come on, I want to arm wrestle. So, and he was getting loud, and I thought, I best just have an arm wrestle.
What do you mean? What do you mean? I best just have an arm wrestle.
Well,
what do you mean?
Get it over and done with. I had to. If he's going to keep asking, I had another hour and a half on the train.
Oh, God.
So anyway.
Oh, my God. I'm thinking who won.
Well, I'm thinking, were people putting bets on? How was it working?
It was stopped, and just as well, really.
It was stopped. Was he getting?
No. He was winning. I was struggling a bit, right? Yeah. And he was really like, taking my arm down. And then he sort of let go and started laughing. And I thought, thank God he let go, because I would have made, you know what I mean? If I lost that, everyone's in the train looking, and all the rest of it.
It's suddenly serious to him. He's got to win this.
Anyway,
Pilkington.
But then he just, then we were chatting about favourite food and that. He liked sausages. And I said, he said, do you like sausages? I said, yeah, they're alright. I like a bit of Chinese and that as well. And he was saying, I can't have Chinese. I'm not allowed Chinese.
Why?
Dunno, he just said, just not allowed to have it.
Right.
But yeah, I had a good long chat about stuff and that, but...
So you enjoyed it in the end?
In the end, it was alright, yeah. It's just...
What do you... okay.
No, but it's that thing, innit? It's whenever you're faced with something different, it's always awkward, isn't it? And that's the thing.
You're talking about him now, are you?
And I think I did alright, because everyone else was ignoring him. But I probably made his day pretty good.
Yeah. The other one, right? A bloke, right? He's on a train station, and I tell you how I heard it. He's waiting for his crew station, waiting for, and he shits himself. As you do. And so he goes, oh, my train's in 5 minutes, so he runs across to Millets and goes, quick, Levi's 36. The bloke just puts it in a bag, he runs onto the train, he goes into the toilet, takes his trousers and pants off.
He's soiled.
Yes. Throws them out of the window. I won't be needing those again. Cleans himself off. Open the bags. It's a jacket.
Oh.
No, he didn't have them, Karl. At what point did he go into it and go, quick, Levi's 36? And the bloke went, sorry,